Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be watching and or listening to this, I want to welcome you to the latest episode of the Gaming Circle podcast. The podcast where, you see it, the man, the myth, the legend, the Everborn saga is not with us. But don't correct your vision or your audio, because we are also joined by a great one. Now, of course, when he speaks, you may need to turn and calibrate your bass down because, it's that kind of morning. The man, the myth, the legend, the one who chooses to join us and make our show much better and much more soulful. It's the Infinite Umbra. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Oh, yeah. If you all have ladies around, you might want to tell them to turn their volume down. This is the GCP hour. Brought to you by Chaos Hunting. No, I'm good, man. Good morning to you. Good morning to everyone in the chat. Shout out to my Ragoon, Black John. I see you. Big Man Mo, make sure you shout out all of us and not just, Holly this time. Man jumped into the chat.
It's okay.
He jumped into the chat the other day, was like, "Hey, Holly," and like, yeah, all right, hey y'all, whatever. But like,
was Holly even on the show?
She was this time, finally. But yeah, man. Good morning, man. Thank you for having me. It's been a little while, not too long though, but it's been a little while. Yeah, good to be here with you again, of course.
Always appreciate having you on the show, man. Always appreciate you.
It's always fun to chop.
Before we start, let me let the folks know, we're always happy to have Infinite Umbra on the show. Everborn Saga, unfortunately, is not on the show today because we're all in the middle of a flux, if you will. He's getting ready to go on family vacay. Myself, as y'all know, will be getting ready to head out to other sides of the world coming soon. So our shows will be a little fluid for the next couple of weeks, but we figured we jump in here and do one final show for you guys before we have to head to Paths Unknown or Gamescom and the like, right? But, so we here today. We have Infinite Umbra joining us. We might actually have more of the Infinite podcast jumping on the show today because, we love when the Gaming Circle can host a lot more folks and we can have more voices in the community. We always appreciate that. So thank y'all for so much for being here. Thank you for coming out. Thanks to all the great folks who are already in the chat, already having great conversations. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Consider subscribing. All the game host stuff we are supposed to be doing on this Saturday morning. Mr. Umbra, sir, you are our guest. Well, you're the second chair this week. Well, let's start with you. What games you've been playing? What's new on your radar? What's been keeping you busy?
Man, I feel official. I'm the second chair right now.
You know what it is.
Man, I've been playing. I got through a few things. Well, I got through at least Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh yeah. Let's talk. Let's take a little pause and discuss Donkey Kong Bonanza for a minute, okay? Because if I'm not mistaken, Donkey Kong Bonanza represents the first time you came into the Nintendo ecosystem properly, like you bought a console and all of this. And this was like your first foray into one of their AAA, playing it on their box. Like, for those who don't know, Infinite Umbra and I are friends on Nintendo's platform. I trust him, so I gave him my social security number. I don't trust y'all. I'm asking for it. But needless to say, like, from the day that game released, I saw the Infinite Umbra playing this game at like 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, on Sunday, right? On a Sunday. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? We tested out the voice chat feature, which took a little while to get going, but it was actually pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
It was cool. It was getting it done. And then I'm like, all right, this is cool. I was talking to him, chatting with the fam. Eventually I let Umbra go because Umbra was still playing. 3 p.m. Umbra's still playing. 9 p.m. Umbra's still playing. The next day, Umbra's still playing in the morning. Afternoon, Umbra's. He did not stop. I did not stop seeing the Infinite Umbra's icon playing Donkey Kong Bonanza for like 3 straight days, homie. Like 3 straight days. Tell me about this game. Go ahead.
You hit it right on the head. I mean, if just going by that, for one, people who typically know me know I put a ton of time into games. Like, I don't shortchange any game. I put a bunch of, especially if I love it. If I love it, you're going to see crazy amounts of hours put into it. And this game, man, and like you said, it took me by storm. But it's like you said, I haven't been in the ecosystem of Nintendo for decades. Like, I think the last Nintendo console I owned personally My family notwithstanding, because they had the Wii U and stuff, whatever the Wii. I didn't have it. The last one I actually owned, I think, was like a GameCube. So like it's been a long time.
So
and
when they got off the platform of performance, you got off of their platform.
Pretty much.
Like, I'm done with them.
And I didn't even notice it, but like I guess that really is what it kind of came down to, is performance.
Yeah, a lot of people did that.
Yeah, and I even moved to PC because of performance, right? Like now that you mentioned it, I'm like, oh, that is what it was. I never really gave it thought.
Epiphany.
Yeah, you gave me the old epiphany here, the old light bulb kicked on. But like, I gotta say, man, like we talk about these $80 ridiculous price games. I don't understand how. I still don't get how Mario Kart World is 80, and people are buying it to their to Nintendo's credit. I mean,
so let's talk about that for just a quick moment.
Yeah,
I contend, although I'm still, and you and I are the same in that, right? $70 games, we were like, nah, fam. $80 games, the pitchforks are out. We are leaders of the opposition. We there, like we are there. I'm with you, right?
Right.
Had they shown me this as their first indication of this is our $80 games, my pitchforks would not have come out, but it would have come out slower.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, I think you're absolutely correct. If any game, and I'm not advocating for any game to be that price, but if any game they put out first at least, or put out that should have been 80, it should have been this. Not Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World, for all its credit of it being a great racer and family,
and it is, it's an amazing racer.
Yeah,
and it does not, for our purposes, it does not. And you tell me if I'm wrong here, and I see you in there, Major. He's like, oh, here comes the hate. This is not hate. You critique what you love. We are owners of this platform. We love this platform. We're just saying the way they showed this off day one could have been calibrated a little bit better, I think. This should have been the first thing they showed us when they said $80 games. We would have still been like, come on, fam. But then maybe we would have been like, our minds would have moved on quickly because Donkey Kong Bonanza is out there doing his thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I think you hit it on the head. I think that's correct. Like, it's still outrageous, right? But like, if you get time into this, you start to see like, okay, this is some supreme quality right here, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is supreme quality, and it's so great to me. Like you talked about how stuck I was on it, and it's because the portability, obviously, of the Switch too.
Oh yeah.
So I can take this thing on the go with me, which I did. Got a ton of time into it. Rather, I also got I got not the Pro controller, but the one from Grit. What's the name of it? I cannot. Hold on. It's called the Gully Kit.
Oh yeah. Great controller. Yep.
So I got that as my pro option for the controller, and man, I played it on the go. It's the game is addictive as hell for my gaming type, and I have this kind of weird OCD style of gaming where I start looking for everything in a big open world. I gotta find everything. If you are like me, this game is gonna have you addicted like LA in the 90s when during the crack epidemic. Because I was like, the reason why so much time was put into it wasn't just because like the game is long or something like that, and it gives you a fairly pause when I say this meaty campaign.
Hey now, big pause.
But it's a matter of the world design on how you can basically smash and break through so much and really change the landscape of what you're doing in this game, man. And it's so addictive in that aspect. It's just a fun, super well made. It's so polished as far as the controls, as far as the sound design. Like when you transform to one of the bonanzas and from like zebra, like
I hear we're not allowed to give spoilers, so no spoilers. All I will say though is my kids, who are very musically inclined, cannot stop. Like they are so all like every day, like that's all they do all day. Like my son, out of nowhere, banana, all day. That's what they do it.
My youngest nephew, Steph, I let him get a chance to get on it. He's like, Uncle, can I jump blah blah blah? Can I play the Switch? And I'm like, don't you dare touch that Switch because it costs too much money. But you can touch.
Kids are only allowed to hold the controller.
That's it.
You press the button.
There you go. I plugged it up into the old OLED. I'm like, come on in, kitty.
That's right.
Let's drop them off. I'm like, come on by, and you can play it after I get through. No, but yeah, He came by one time. I was playing. I'm like, "You gonna have to wait." I'm sorry, my child, my brother. You gonna have to wait.
You must wait your turn, sir.
Exactly. You got to get your own. But no, I let him get a chance to get into it, and he's loving it. And like you said with your kids, he's humming these songs. He's like, and he's loving it. And Nintendo happens to have this magic of how they kept. It's like they're like Disney of gaming, where they have all these qualities. You know what I mean? Where they capture the whimsical
aspects. Yes,
they did a great job with this game, man. I don't know if I can properly give it its due in terms of in terms of positives, because like it's something I think people will have to play to get, and some people the mileage may vary, right? Like we talked with Morty, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't like the no story, blah blah blah. It's not that deep." To me, I don't think games like this need a super deep story. You know what I mean? It's not to me. I don't think that's really the bag for this.
I agree.
Look at it platforming and all.
Gaming can emphasize one thing versus another, since so many aspects are important there, right? We had this discussion, you and I and many others had this discussion about South of Midnight, right? There the criticism was that the gameplay aspects weren't as robust as the story aspects were.
Right.
That's fine, right? You can have a vehicle for great storytelling even if the gameplay is not as robust as the time spent in the story. This is opposite, right? It looks like the story's there, but it's not as robust as the gameplay. But no one should hate on it for that. That gameplay is so next level. It's so much fun. Like I'll say, Disney, if you're paying attention, Incredible Hulk game. Thank you. Incredible Hulk game.
Indeed.
This is the reference design. Please and thank you. Do it. Like it's so good. It's so much fun.
The game is so well made that it made me retroactively go to try to purchase Odyssey for the Switch 2 to have it on the Switch.
Wow.
Like, mind you, I have a crazy good PC, right? Like I can emulate all this stuff. Nintendo, please don't send your ninjas after me. I can emulate these things legally that I purchased. But
starting early,
the game is so well made. I'm like, this team deserves money from me. That's how good it is. Like, I'm like, I'll go buy those games from them. Like, Odyssey deserves a purchase from me, like officially, right? Like, don't send them my way.
The FBI and Dean Cain of ICE.
Wait a minute, I'm a natural citizen though. I was born here.
It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's your deportation. I'm sorry. That's my one for today. We're not doing that.
They're gonna deport me to Japan so I can be arrested there.
Play the game. That's right.
But like, it's. I just gotta say, man, like the game is so well made. I enjoy my time in it so much. I just, man, morning Ollie. Like I was just like, I couldn't put it down. I just could not put it down. And like I said, I let my nephew play it. He's deep into it. He's further into it now. He's like way down in the layers now. He's like into it as well. And he's singing the songs I'm singing a song with him. I'm like, Zebra. And then you transform to the other. I don't want to give much away, I guess.
No spoilers, sir. No spoilers. Yeah. The chat's going to come for us with the spoilers.
I just got to say, I love it, man. I think when I look, and it also made me think, man, wouldn't it be something if, and I guess it's kind of reactionary, but look at Rare in a situation they're in. And we haven't had games like Conquer. We haven't had Banjo-Kazooie. And people always like, oh, where's Banjo? Imagine Nintendo still having those properties. We'll probably see some crazy good games from them. You know what I mean? Out of those properties.
Yep.
So just like looking at that, like, reflectively, like I look at that and like, damn, man. I kind of wish Microsoft can come up with some deal with them, like to let them get it, because it seems like Microsoft isn't interested in doing that with the old platformers anymore. Nintendo,
it's very unusual.
Yeah.
Well, so okay, to be fair to maybe Microsoft and to recognize the hill that we're talking about here, which is more Mount Everest more than a hill, like. Why would you even try? Have you seen Donkey Kong Bonanza? Like, you're making money like in these other aspects. Yes, Rare is Rare, and Rare did what Rare did. Now, if you even try, like, come on now, like, Did you see Mario Wonder? Like, don't even bother.
Right.
Go continue making your COD and continue collecting. I don't think you should even weigh into these waters anymore. I don't know.
I mean, you could be right. I mean, I feel like even like we were talking about this yesterday, and I said that I don't think with Microsoft leading the way they are leading, I don't think games like that can get a chance anymore. I don't think that they want that. I think they want that big return on investment. Those bigger games that's going to bring in a lot of MAUs and numbers from microtransactions. I think the games don't really play into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the bad part about it. Yeah.
And the reason why Nintendo can still do this is because their priorities have always been here. And because of that, they've been able to mature this platforming genre to a place where even though people have moved on from quote unquote platforming, it's everyone except Nintendo. Right? Nintendo gets to continue to stay because they have earned their place in this genre. No one else really has. Right? Like, so yeah, I agree. But like, to the point where I feel like, yeah, Rare is doing good things and Sea of Thieves has been good and all of that, but like, give their IP to others who can do something with it, because it seems like they're not doing much, or they don't want to do much with it at some point. Right. I think somebody interviewed Phil, and Phil was saying something to the point of they don't feel like they want to go back to their past anymore, which is fine. You can feel like you can do what you want, but there's so much to be mined from there, right? Like, look,
way too much
on here. Yeah. So
yeah, you're right. They don't seem to want to go back to those.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, just to cap it off, I guess, Donkey Kong Bonanza is so good to me. And if you all couldn't tell on all the praise I just lumped it, on its way, the game is a game of the year contender for a fact. And it also further enlightened my thought on not all game scores are created equal, right?
Okay.
Because we look back and I think about Astrobot and the praise that was heaped on it.
Yeah.
The praise that was heaped on Astrobot should be the praise that's heaped on Donkey Kong. And I say that having loved Astrobot for what it was, this game is far better than Astrobot. I'm not saying that to like down it. I'm not just like, oh, anti-Sony is none of that. I loved Astrobot. It's a great game. It got like a 9, I think, from me. Not all games are created equal. This is like a 9.5, but it's so far above that 9 I gave Astrobot that it could be, might as well be a 5 that I gave Astrobot. That's how good this game is.
That's the folly of reviewing things on the same scale, right? Like, how can this be reviewed with, say, Elden Ring, but somehow they're on the same scale?
Right.
Story, gameplay differences, or a game that's super heavy in storytelling, right? Which also deserves its respect. But how can you weigh that against this one, which doesn't necessarily have the best story, but I would contend that its gameplay elevates it beyond certain stories. Right? It's a very difficult thing to compare them like that. So I agree with you. The all I will say to that point is, like, this year will be very interesting. Right, as the Discord folks like to call them E33 boys is out there, and they will not.
I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I love D33, so
they will not be denied, man.
Yeah, I have to say though, like, this was the first game that gave me pause in the thoughts of maybe this could really challenge it. Like, I have to be honest, so far, there, and I've made my business to play any of the games people would say could be a game of the year contender. Right now, I'm moving up to, after I get on the next game I want to talk about really quickly, because I know we've been on it for a second. Oh no, please speak. Is Mafia, the old country, but I've made it my business to try to get through all these major game of the year whispered game. So Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I want to get on that soon. I'm going to play through Major, just so you know. I'm going to jump on after Mafia. I'm going to jump on Death Stranding, and then Death Stranding. I'm going to get Death Stranding 2 to play through that.
Okay.
And Ghost of Yotei, I guess, will possibly be in that thing. So I'm going to get that, obviously. So I'm making it my business to play through all these games so I can give a fair thought on what I think is game of the year.
One, don't forget Blueprints, because that's in the conversation.
I played a bit of that. Yep.
2, don't forget Bionic Bay, because that's already started getting some indie awards. 3, Erodimus, no one said Donkey Kong is better than E33. I'm saying it's going to be a battle. Don't put words in my mouth, sir. And welcome.
Erodimus starting off early.
You know what he's doing. But yes, I too think that come award season, it will be a very interesting back and forth, because I too think that from a gameplay and story perspective, Expedition 33 is amazing, man. It's amazing, right? But that Donkey Kong, bro, like this is when you really like have to decide on what you prioritize. Is gameplay your king, or is storytelling your king? Because that will determine a lot, I suspect.
I think that's absolutely correct. For me, I know that gameplay is weighs heavy, but story, narrative, that probably outweighs so much. Is gameplay is king. Gameplay has to be number one, right? Because if you have no fun and the gameplay is terrible, who wants to get through a story like that? Like, it's terrible, but the story was good. Like, no one. So you have to have both there. I would almost say one A and 1B for me when it comes to that. And Expedition 33 has enough gameplay where it's fun enough because of the mechanics of the combat, and the visuals are nice because it's Unreal. Of course, you know it's going to look good. You know, I have to throw some love to Unreal's way, because I'm going to actually dump on them a little bit in a second.
Okay. All right.
I hate to do it. I hate to do it, but I have to. And to Aaron's point, yeah, Split Fiction was actually excellent too. I played through that with Holly. Shout out to that blue number. I got to try out Eric's Home too, by the way, BT. But the game, the story, the narrative is so well done. The OST is so well done in Expedition 33. They deserve every bit of that game of the year for me right now. But I will say, if Donkey Kong was to beat it, I would be upset, because I think Expedition 33 is that story. You know, that it's that story of the year with these developers who came out of nowhere with, oh look, we got our little 33 developers, including our dog. You know, that dog is actually named.
They found the artist. Yeah, the dog is Monaco.
Yeah,
the artist on sound, one of the musicians on SoundCloud, and
right.
the writer on Reddit. Like, it's just the story, bro. The story of how that game came together, and the fact that it's a masterpiece. Right. I think that elevates it. Yeah,
that's the thing for me, and that's why I feel like you have to give to me, not have to, but to me, Expedition 33 has earned that right for Game of the Year for me so far. I don't think anything is going to surpass it. Donkey Kong came really close in my mind. I was like, damn, like, I can see this, but it didn't quite give me that feeling of euphoria, if you will, that Expedition 33 did with everything it did so well. Even though it doesn't excel in gameplay elements like Donkey Kong does, it does enough to get you through everything well enough, right? Like, the platforming obviously is trash. Like, we can all agree. But you know,
platform was always trash. It was not meant to be. Yes, it was not.
But other than that, like, everything else is so well done. The platforming thing to me is not even, it's secondary. It's not even a matter of anything. That said, I'll move to the next game I've been playing, which was Mafia: The Old Country.
Real quick,
yes,
before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, because we are being inundated with the Infinite Podcast. It's the one and only that blue number. What's going on, Holly? Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. You caught me mid coffee slurp. Good morning. Umbra might know a thing or two about don't talk to me until I've had my proper amount of coffee. So we're still on the bubble, so be nice. No.
I will step slowly back. I will say good morning.
Just kidding. Good morning, everyone. Hi, chat. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I heard you look lovely today. Good morning. Glad you had your coffee.
See, he knows what to do. He's like, yeah.
All right.
Hit her with the niceties for a while, and then it'll all balance out.
So I see the folks in the chat. While we're getting going, we're going to talk about games and stuff. Throw the games that you think are your games of the year in the chat right now. I find that super interesting. I see Alters in there. I'm seeing other folks talk about some other games. Like, this year will be quite contentious, I suspect. So we'll get into that. But Holly, welcome. Umbra, I know you were still discussing one. You wanted to talk a bit about Mafia: The Old Country. How about you do that now?
Okay, yeah. So I won't stay on it too long. Mafia is gorgeous, right? And I'm not just saying it's because it's Unreal Engine.
I heard it runs at 120 frames, like locked on Series X.
That's a beautiful thing, and that's what makes me feel regretful, because I got the PC because I wanted the great performance, everything like that, all the bells and whistles. The problem is, however, and at least until they patch it, the game is having a ton of issues on PC.
On PC, yeah.
The game has crashed on me 10 plus times now. So
welcome to PC problems.
Yeah, I'm having the crashes.
Yep.
And I can't quite figure out
this
what it means.
Console gamers will go, well, there's something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why you should have got on Xbox, my brother.
Don't say any more negative about PC. Like, until Risk it's gone. Like, I saw him in the chat. We can't have PC slander while Riskit is on the bubble of buying a PC. Everybody, Riskit's gonna buy a PC. He swears he's not gonna game on it, which is a total lie. It never works that way.
Okay, but I guess when he joins us, I will ask him what kind of GPU will be in that PC if he's never going to game it. I'm asking for a friend.
You know what this man said the other day?
Yeah.
We were trying to get him on board with it. With like, oh yeah, the next Xbox is going to be more PC like, and like he had this outdated little Apple whatever laptop he uses.
It doesn't matter. It's Apple. That's all you need to know.
Right. And we're like, man, get you a Windows-based PC. And I said, yeah, if I do, I would have to get something that's really high end, blah blah blah, but I won't game on it. I'm like, why? Why are you even doing that to yourself? Like,
and you shouldn't spend that money if you're not going to game.
What he's saying is he's going to buy a very capable PC that can most likely do more than what he has in his living room, and compare to one of these, but he won't pair it to one of these.
Exactly. Correct. That's what he's claiming.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I said the temptation is going to get so much where he's going to pretend that he's not doing it, but I think he will.
Sure, he can continue pretending. We'll take the task when the time arrives.
Exactly.
Now, about Mafia, I've been a huge Mafia fan, and shout out to the great Lucius Augustus in the chat. He and I have been chatting about Mafia a little bit as well. He's also playing it. This game, I love Mafia 1, 2, and 3. I have loved the originals. I actually love the remakes. I've actually played the remakes, loved the remake, remasters, and remakes rather. And unpopular opinion, I actually think Mafia 3 was my favorite. I loved the cinematics, the story, the realness of the he goes to war, comes back.
Love Mafia 3.
Racism. Yeah. I thought it was so real, and I loved it. I loved it. Right? People didn't like it as much. I did. But let it not get it twisted. This is made by a publisher who's not the most customer forward, if you will, right? So when they came out talking about their AAA IP, first you would assume it was $70. They go, nah, fam, it's a little cheaper than that. And as soon as Take-Two says that, I'm like, because I don't know Take-Two to be the one that's most altruistic and all of that, right? And they keep hedging their bets, and they keep shaving off sides, and they keep making it seem like, oh, it's going to be cheap. It's going to be, we're going to make it more cost effective for the normal guy or whatever. And all that to me speaks, we're not confident in this thing. We don't think it's going to make a splash, so we're trying to hedge our bets. I hope I am wrong. I've spoken to Lucius. He says to a certain extent, I am wrong because he is enjoying the game, which I'm happy to be wrong. How is this game grabbing you, Umbra, as you've played this? And first off, how is your experience with the first ones? Have you played the first ones?
I've played through all of them, and I love them all. I will agree with you. Part 3 does not get enough love. It's one of those games where it should get more love, but it's like, oh, well, they deviated from Vito and blah, blah, blah. Like, look, man, there's a game well made. Does it have a good story? That's all I care. That's all I care about. I can understand like deviating away from like protagonists, if you can call them that, being Mafia, but that you love. But the game is well done. It's just a fun game to play. That's all that matters.
You want to continue to get more exploits from Clay? Go play Mind's Eye, or maybe don't.
Yeah, right. Don't do that.
Because it's the same character, the same guy.
Yeah, man. He looks like he's been on Ozempic or something. Why is he so skinny and slim and that hair?
He got a little swole.
Yeah, he needs to go back to the cool look he had with Lincoln. But I played through them all, man, and they all have their own charm, especially the remakes, or if you will. They're like really well done, beautiful games. God curse that racing episode in part 1. It is so
bad.
So bad and so like hair pulling, like frustrating. If I had hair, I would have pulled it out.
I'd say you don't have hair. Beard hair.
Yeah, there you go. I
don't know if he has hair or not. All we see is the U and the, yeah. He's just eating his own tail.
I have met Mr. Umbra in person.
Yes.
You have seen him. He has
under a hat.
Hands?
She has beheld the glory of Umbra. Indeed.
And ladies and gentlemen,
he twists that into something that's
the infinite trifecta, which I guess is not complete, because to complete it, I would need my man, Mr. Moody, here, but he's not. Who else is? The great Risket for the Biscuit. What's going on, Risket? How you doing, sir?
Good, man. How you doing? How you going, guys? Well, back to another podcast. Same day, another day, different day. What's
Risket,
the day?
your mic's wrong.
Still connected to the wrong one.
Oh, gosh, darn it.
It's that Apple.
Yep.
I hear you're upgrading, though. We can talk about that.
Get rid of that notebook. But with all the riskets to risk and the biscuits to bisque. But yeah, man. I've loved them all, I will say, just to say this really quick. Yeah, much better. I think your volume. Okay, please, somebody say volume for me. Volume. Because I can't see it correctly. Your volume. Thank you. You know, BT made fun of me earlier.
How do you say volleyball? Wait,
volleyball.
How do you say How do you say? Say it again.
Volleyball.
Are we going to do the etiquette podcast? we can do the etiquette podcast. Yeah. Stop saying brought.
Sorry.
Bought. Yeah. Brought is something you bring. Bought is something you buy. I'm sorry. No, that's my pet peeve. Forgive me. No.
Mark Hughes says speak properly. Okay, Forky, brother, bruv. I'm gonna get myself right here. But no, I gotta say, man, like seriously, like the game is gorgeous. When you play it, you'll get vibes of Hellblade. Like it's that beautiful because it's the same engine, obviously. It looks incredible on this OLED. But man, I have to admit, like when you go from cutscenes, from gameplay to in-game cutscenes, it's crazy stutter. It'll slow down. When you do certain parts, if you're racing around, the game will stutter a bit and cause a little bit of delay, just a bit. Nothing that's crazy, but it's enough.
That sounds like streaming issues. It sounds like either you have caching issues or streaming issues from your hard drive, something slow, giving you a jerky response, right?
And this is exactly why I don't have a PC.
See, I told you. You can't do this in front of him.
You're going to bring yourself to the congregation later, sir. You can bring yourself now, but I suggest you wait for this firing squad. Wait your turn, sir.
And
yes.
To Lucius's point, he says, "Sounds like UE5." I think it is UE5, and that's why I was giving him praise before. But I got to be honest, this is a continuous issue with UE, and the game has closed and crashed on me now 10 to 12 times.
That's terrible. Oh,
and
that's a lot.
Like I'll get a chance, maybe 20 minutes game in, and it freezes. It's not a PC issue. This is UE5.
Umbra, did you get? I know this makes no difference. I'm just curious. Did you get it on Steam or Epic?
I got it on Steam. Yeah.
Okay. I bought it on Epic, and I haven't loaded it up today, but I planned on getting into it this weekend, so I'm probably not going to stream that one now, but I am going to play it. I'm going to start it today if I can.
Nice.
So I'll let you know if it's happening on mine, and maybe it's just a Umbra issue.
Let me know.
I'm problem between the keyboard and the seat.
I am interested because now, to be fair to your point, it could possibly be my issue because Kay knows and he helped me with this. I had to flash my CPU.
Kay helped me with the problem where I had to reset my Windows.
That's a quick aside for people in the PC worlds. And yes. Go ahead. Riskit is now polluting our chat because of all this. You can continue to pollute our chat. It's fine. So for those who have this similar issue, if you get a game, any game at all that just keeps crashing and you don't hear it's a known thing, right? Like game X comes out and it just keeps crashing on you, but everybody else is playing it on their PC, chances are it's your hardware that's lacking in the firmware. Like something is broken, or that there's like driver updates or some update that needs to happen on your components. So this happened with Umbra. Similarly, this happened with me when I was playing Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang. When I was playing Wu-Tang. Yes. Okay. And in so doing, I saw that my Gigabyte drivers needed updating. As soon as I updated it, no harm, no foul, everything's back to normal, right? But if you update and it still keeps doing that, then maybe your hardware is like whatever was causing issues has caused it to a point where now your hardware is past the point of return, right? Same thing happened with Intel. They were like that microcode issue. We'll help you fix it, but if that issue has been prevailing for too long, even if they send you the update, your hardware may still need to be RMA'd or may still need to be returned, right? So what I told Umbra is, with this specific issue, he had this issue, we resolved it, it was fine, right? Go play RoboCop, go play Expedition 33, go play another game that's very difficult to run, like a game that tasks your system. If it does those reboots again, that means your hardware is past its point. If it doesn't and plays it solidly, then it's just specifically the Mafia issue. Right? So that's where we are with it.
And to be fair, just to throw it out there, I don't think it's unique to me, because there are a ton of people actually complaining about it.
Having the same relative
chats and Reddit. Yeah, people are saying it's the same exact issue I have. I have to say, Unreal Engine 5 has proven to be difficult for a lot of developers. We've all seen it. You look at Star Wars games, you look at, it's a bunch. The Star Wars is the one that pops in my mind the most, because it was one that people were like, I'm not playing this until they fix it, and they finally patched it way like a year after or something like that and got it right. So I hope that won't be the case here with this. But I will say a game that's like $50 or whatever plus tax, 60, well, 50 plus tax, or you can get the higher end $60 version, which is not necessary. And for that to have a smaller campaign of like 10 hours, 10 plus hours, 10, 12 hours, and a decent world, great story. So far, the narrative is really strong. I like the main character you play as. I like the mechanics. A lot of that is well done. I think it's well worth the 50 so far. I'm in chapter 4, despite the crashes.
I think that's why Take-Two did what they did. They knew this was going to come in the tank. They knew there was going to be PC issues. They knew it was a little bit less than what you would expect. So they calibrated the pricing to let the pitchforks be less prevalent, specifically with where Umbra is saying. And shout out to Everborn Saga, who's not on the show, but in the chat, $42 on CD keys right now.
Nice.
Well worth. And that's a red flag. Day one, you can find a pretty heavy discount. That tells me they themselves are hedging their bets. Holly, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I pre-ordered Mafia, the Old Country, the deluxe edition from Green Band Gaming like a week ago. And I got the deluxe edition for $40 with tax.
There you go.
So.
Oh, yeah, you came up. That was a good deal.
That's a good deal. Real good deal. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So wait a minute. You think you're better than me now, Holly? Because you got it for a better deal.
She is, though. She got a better deal than you.
Hold on. I forgot to let her get her coffee sips in before I start messing with her.
I guess the TLDR of all of this is, if you wait long enough, by the time you get to it, it will be cheap and it will most likely be more complete and better optimized.
Yep. And I think that's the kind of the lesson we've learned this generation is like, to my man in the chat there, Green there. Yeah, I feel like, it's best maybe for us to kind of wait nowadays. Like that's what they've taught us. And there's no rush to get to those because there's so much patching that has to get through. That said, I was like, man, maybe I would have been better off getting this on Xbox. I laughed to myself.
Sometimes it's running like a buck solid on Xbox. Like, the line does not even blip. It's 120 like that the whole time. I'm like, wow, pretty cool. Not bad. Which also tells me that the development of that game started some time ago. So most likely they were targeting the right hardware. Like they really targeted that X and PS5 hardware. So it runs pretty smooth on that, which is pretty cool. It's great. Nerds and Other Legends, the great nerds from our Discord. Shout out to nerds. If you haven't joined the Discord, consider doing so. Lots of great conversations there. He asks, isn't CD keys still a little risky though? I would say CD keys specifically, not so much. There are some risks in that area. So I usually use gg.deals, and it'll aggregate all the good deals and also tell you, hey, this site might be a little shady or whatever. But again, another cheap plug. You don't want to deal with any of those? Join the Discord. Whenever good deals arise, we all aggregate them. There's a channel specifically for that. So you always know the best place to buy without worrying about, will they steal your money? We usually try and filter that stuff in our Discord too. So if you can, join our Discord. Lots of fun to be had there. Let's see. Anything else we want to discuss with Mafia? I haven't played it yet. It's on the backlog. It will join the backlog. My Umbra podcast mates right now on the show. Anybody else having played it that you wish to discuss, or should we?
You know what I find really interesting about this particular release is that so it's got a 76 on Metacritic, right? Okay. And you know how it breaks down the platforms. Well, PC's got 60 critic reviews. Xbox has 3 and PlayStation has 2. I think it's a very rare game. That might have happened, I think, with Baldur's Gate 3. There was more of a PC focus, but it's a very rare game you see that sort of a split. It's very strange.
Especially considering that Umbra's getting as many issues as he has on PC, and he's done the research and seen there's so many Reddit posts about issues on PC. I would assume that the ones that the code that is given before the game is released would only be console code. Interesting.
Right. You would think that they would drop that, and that's why they were backing off all the early release access codes, which they weren't handing out to the bigger creators. But I mean, like I'm iffy on this. I've been iffy on this game. There's just something wooden about it, something that didn't look quite right. But look at it, what you got up on the screen. I don't know, man. It actually looks pretty good. Yeah,
yes, absolutely it does.
It might be a sold. My thing is the gameplay. What's the gameplay going to be like? Because this is very much like it bleeds a little bit into the Battlefield thing. Is everyone was a little bit worried about Battlefield 1 when it came out. A lot of people didn't like the World War I type weapons. And I sort of feel like this might be similar. It might be a little bit more melee, less automatic weapons because it's around that sort of era. And I was just wondering how it would play out. But looking at the gameplay, it looks like it's a pretty solid entry, man, for a 10-hour campaign. I think you guys are paying 40, we're paying 60. For 60, I think this is a definite must buy. And it plays better on console. So obviously I have to support the devs making the correct decision. I'm pretty keen, but obviously I'm stuck in Battlefield 6 hard at the moment. So I don't know when I'm going to come out of that bubble, when the beta ends, probably.
Okay. You know what, Holly, we'll go to you first and then risk it towards the end of our gaming segment. I do want to hear a bit more about Battlefield because I haven't tried it yet. I hear a lot of interesting back and forth about that, like, will it finally take over as the multiplayer du jour as from CoD? We shall see. Holly, what do you think? Have you started? What games have you been playing? Where are you this week?
Yeah, I have been kind of all over the place. I finished a big game a couple weeks ago, and I knew that August, once August hit, you're going to be bombarded with all these new games, right? So I was kind of bouncing around a lot. I did pick up and play this game that came out at the end of July called Eric's Home. And I made a video about it. I reviewed it. I loved it. It's one of the first games. One of the things I say in it is that I feel like almost every modern game, they're all like 5 to 10 hours too long, right? They kind of overstay their welcome a little bit. It's always like you get to a point in the story and you're like, okay. And then they're like, oh, but no, this one last thing, like in movies, right? So it's like where they're like, but, and then it goes on for another 20 minutes in a movie, which is like 5 hours in the game. And you're like, can we just, like, it's okay. Like, put it to bed. But this game understays its welcome. It's like 12 hours. It's not super long, but it's such a good game, and it ends so quickly. You're like, wait, I want more. So so I reviewed it. I put a video up on my channel about it this week, and then I've been playing an absolute banger of a multiplayer game that I can't talk enough about, that I love, called the Abiotic Factor. It's on Steam. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah. I saw the thing about it. Okay.
Yeah, it has like PS2 graphics, but who cares? The game is fun, and it's such a good time, particularly with friends. I've only been playing with friends. And there's no like quest log, really. You just kind of like run across people. It's set in Australia, so it's got some quirky accents at the beginning of the game. Yep. And it is an absolute joy, and it's survival / there's some sort of story in it / gameplay. You go out and you fight aliens that have invaded this place that you're in, and it must be a huge game, because we've played quite a few hours, and I think we've only just barely scratched the surface and of all the places that you'll go and get into and stuff. So can't recommend that enough. And
is this on PC or on console? Where you been playing it?
I've actually played it on both, but through Game Pass. So I played it on console, and then I played it through PC Game Pass as well. Like I said, I think it's on Steam. I think it's like $40. Honestly, it's worth $40, but PC Game Pass, right? What else have I played? Battlefield 6 beta. And I started the Midnight Walk this week, and man, what a game that is on PC. I think it's only on PC and PS5, at least for now. It is gorgeous. Do you like claymation stuff?
I do. I love claymation stuff.
Yeah. Wrong button.
You said PS5.
I said I played it on PC, but it's at PC. So, and it's actually meant for VR. So if you have any VR headset, I think like I could see how good this game would be in VR. Like it's absolutely, it's so good. The graphics.
Wait.
Person view?
Wait, hang on.
It's all handmade.
Wait, hang on.
It is, yeah.
Holly, have you bought this on PC, or did you buy it on PlayStation? Because if you have not, if you can see,
can you listen to me?
If you can see how good this game is on VR, you have a fantastic piece of kit sitting in a box. Like, this might be the perfect game to pull that bit of kit out of the box and tell us how good this game is on VR. I would even throw in.
Is what you're saying?
If we could get this PSVR 2 out of the box, I would be proud. Be proud.
Well, technically, she bought this on PC. All she needs is that. What is it? $75 dongle, and then that PSVR will work on her PC.
That's true.
She's never going to do it though.
No, I would. I was actually looking. I tried to buy that dongle when it first came out, but it was sold out like right away. I think it might be.
By now, it may just be for anybody who needs it. It may be available. Look again. Like the dust has settled now. That I think you might be able to find some. There are third parties out there that are offering it as well.
Oh, that's true. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Well,
anyway, this game is very, very good. It was a little worse.
Scary good. Scary, like atmospheric. It looks like little nightmares.
That's what I get. Yeah,
it is. It's very much like that, and it's all handmade claymation, right? Like all of the puppets or whatever, right? Extremely good, really pretty, and not a single issue with it that I've had. Gorgeous. So, and it came out in May, so still pretty new.
Okay, awesome.
That Eric Home, by the way, what type of gameplay is that? What would you say?
It is. Yeah. So Eric's Home is an isometric, and I'm not a big isometric fan, but this game, it just really works. Unless it's like a turn-based, right? Those are good. But this is sneaking, so it's kind of like Dishonored a little bit, where it requires you to sneak across rooftops, through vents, and other means. You can't fight people, right? It's more about the art of illusion, distraction, to sneak around, and you get 3 different characters that you switch between simultaneously to solve the puzzle of the sneaking. And they all have different move sets or abilities to be able to use. So you have to find the right combination to get through a room or a building or across the city, whatever the setting is. So there are tunnels, there are rooftops. It's a really beautiful city that you're in. It's set in this like Scandinavian style pretend city, right? From like the early 1900s.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Sounds really good. Yeah. MJ said it's like a game that feels like Plague Tale story-wise.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing too, because it did remind me of Plague Tale, because the main story, and the main story is excellent. It's about a brother-sister combination, right? Kind of like how Plague's Tale is. The only thing is, I found the brother-sister thing in Plague's Tale a little annoying because of how many times I heard him scream Amicia, right? Amicia! Like, shut up! I'm coming! Shut up, right?
What's his name again? You just wanted to...
Hugo! Amicia! Hugo! Amicia! Like, shut up! It's like, anyway, this one's not like that at all. There's nothing annoying about
your brother, because I didn't care about my brother in that one.
No, I didn't either. He was annoying. I was just like, shut up.
No, oh my god, I wanted him to get eaten by rats. It was a wrap.
I know. A couple of times you just let it happen, right? You're like, yes, okay, now we can play the game, right?
Indeed. Yes.
Yeah, but Eric's Home, on the other hand, beautiful, great story. It has all of the perfect combination to have a really interesting sequel, but also if it doesn't, it's a really nice holistic game that will leave you satisfied as well. So
excellent.
Is it available on Mac?
Extra camera.
And it's $40 full price. Full price is $40. So it's available on Mac except Smug. That's it.
Now, is it available on Mac? Really?
No.
Probably not. But, you know, Mac users can use what was it again? Oh my god, I forget that translation.
Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone. There you go. You can use Rosetta Stone to convert it. You know, hopefully.
This would be really good if you have a handheld as well, as long as you can see, you know, the isometric, right? You need to be able to see a little more detail than a lot of other games. But I think BT Maverick played it on his Steam Deck. And I think it worked really, really well for him there.
Let's catch up on a couple of super chats, just a few, and then we'll get back to the gaming. The great Lucius Augustus is here with a $5 super chat. He says 2025 has been a crazy year of games. Avowed was so high on my list, and now it's not even in the top 5 of the year, which is crazy. I agree with you. At the beginning of the year, I thought Avowed was going to crush all competitors, and now I don't even think it like joins the list. You know, and that's not to speak to how bad Avowed was. It's just to speak to the level of quality that the games have been presenting this year. Yeah. It's great.
I have to agree. Yeah, like gaming has been so crazy. And that's why I think it's even, if games can be this strong, like as far as great games we get, having games that's delayed to come over 6 months later, whatever, from PlayStation or whatever, that you know, that they're rumored to be 6 months to a year, won't even matter anymore if you move to PC, because you got so much to play. It's insane.
MJ Dark, $5 super chat. He said, risk it on console. You have kangaroo textures. Let's not cap. Umbra, the fox is to unname your PC from Xbox to PC. That'll fix the tool.
Oh, he was saying the fix is to change my PC from Xbox to PC, and that'll make the game work well. The tools will get it.
And then, of course, he says K God Jima. He always has to come and troll us every Saturday morning. Thank you, MJ Dark. The only thing he's good for are his great indie recommendations. Don't listen to anything else he says.
Yeah,
his indie recommendations,
because Kojima is overrated. He doesn't want to admit it, but hey, you know, he likes to drink certain bathwater. We'll move on. Anyway.
Ooh.
And then we have the great Parasite 82 Green, who's become a channel member. Thank you so much for being a channel member. We appreciate you. And thanks to all the people who continue to rock with us on Saturday mornings. We see a lot of great folks in here. Almost 200 people watching on the various platforms that we broadcast. Please consider becoming a subscriber or a member if you so choose, if you like what we do here. And, you know, we always appreciate you hitting the like button on the YouTubes and letting other folks know that we are here and that we have great conversations for you. So I've hit all of you folks. Any games that we want to discuss within this week that have not been played before we get to Battlefield? Because I know Holly, you and Risket have been playing. Any other games you want to talk about before we get to the Battlefield talk?
I mean, I've been playing. I was floating around quite a bit, looking for a game to play. So I played Little Nightmares 1 and 2. I went through those, and I never finished them before. I don't know. I just feel. I think with 1, I didn't quite understand it. I couldn't. I don't know. Like I didn't understand that. Like
So
that
good.
there was no real prompts. Do you know what I mean? To tell you what to pick up or what to do. You just got to figure that stuff out. And when I first booted that game up, it was way back in my Battlefield days. And I'm like, man, what is this? I'm not playing it. And then I picked it back up again, and I absolutely love it. I feel like I've progressed as a gamer. However, I've also been playing Doom, and I really could not get into that at all. I could not. I just I wasn't feeling it.
Doom?
Yeah, so this is Doom Dark Ages.
Yep.
I never really I didn't like the previous 2. I know a lot of people like 2016 and then the one after.
You don't like any of the new Dooms, first, second, or third, because you know all 3 are completely different, right? They're different in gameplay style, and they're also different in the way they deliver the story. So most people like either 1 of 3. Well, hold on. As I understand it, most either you like 1 and 3 or you like 2. You don't like either of them.
Yeah, I didn't like. I couldn't get into 2016, and I couldn't get into Ultimate or whatever it was called. I can't remember what. Eternal. I couldn't get Eternal. I just found it really too zippy. In 2016, I don't know, just something was wrong, wasn't right. I couldn't get into it. This one, I'm like, I'm going to give it a real proper chance, right? I'm going to really push a little bit. So I played for, I think it was about the 3-4 hour mark, and I'm like, this is actually pretty good. This is like it's a hack and slash shooter. That's basically sort of what it is. Like it's a first person hack and slash.
Different genre in the shooter franchise, right? The second one was it was a platformer shooter. That's what it was, right? And the first one was all like, and I've always really respected id for doing this. You have this IP that people know and love, but every time you shoot your shot, it's completely different. Even though you could play it safe and just give them what they want, you just keep giving them different things. I think that's so commendable at a high level with so much money being spent. I'm surprised it's taken so long to connect with you, Risket. This game is like unadulterated hardcore metal. I thought you'd be all about that.
That's not me, man. I'm hip hop all the way.
Okay.
You know why?
Hip hop too, but I also love metal, so it is what it is. Yeah.
I can't stand metal. This is the thing. I've started to, back in the day, I would say that there's 2 genres of music I cannot handle, and one is like that's that heavy metal screaming. I was never breastfed type music, and then the country. I could not deal with the southern. But I'm starting to come around on some country stuff, man. There's a couple of artists that I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Yeah, but metal was never me. So I sort of put the metal out of my mind, and I put the story out of my mind, and I just started running around, just bashing back those green, whatever it is it's throwing at you. And I'm loving it. I'm like, this is great. You go around and smash everything. It's really easy to find all the secret stuff. I only just started looking for it like midway through the game. You can just look on your map and you go find it. And it's just a real, I don't know how you say this, but it's a real switch your brain off, just run around, shoot stuff, and you don't have to think. It's a great one for being in a party or just talking to people or while you're running around doing that.
Turn your brain off game that's very fun. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah, and every single like level is a bigger like crazy fantasy, like a power fantasy than the last. It's very good. It's fun. It's fun. You know.
And I dig that when you start fighting, they introduce a new demon. You fight that demon. And demons like continues to be in the But as you progress, you become way more powerful. These things used to cause you a problem. They're no longer causing you a problem now. Now something else is causing you a problem. I like that progression. I like that progression. I mean, the Mac. I am playing it on Mac. No, I'm not. No.
So yes, you will be taken to task for being the Mac user on the panel. Just so you know, anybody will take you to task, and they will do. Sure, it is. Absolutely it is. Yes,
Apple is the greatest, the best.
Yes. Showtech with a $2 super chat. He says, "Please hit the like button and consider sharing out, sir. We agree and we appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, our great moderator." The great Pixel Big G with a $5 super chat. He says, "To your point, wasn't Doom 3 a horror game? These dudes are genius." Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's. Yeah. Go ahead, man.
No, I was going to say I personally loved Dark Ages. I will say, like, if you're looking at it from again, much like we talked about with Donkey Kong, if you're looking at it like, oh man, I need a great narrative, you're not really going to get that. Although the plot is there for Doom: The Dark Ages, it's just pure adrenaline, demon flame.
The end though has a really big story beat.
Yes, it does.
It does. If you like combine them all together and look at how they play through and how you go back in time and everything, like all that does
like
matter.
They're getting to the beginning where they're going to start cinematics.
Yeah,
like it's almost like all this was the prequel to get you to now they're going to start cinematics. You know, and it progressively grow. I like what they're doing. You know,
I love it. I found it better than what's the one before this one, Holly?
Eternal.
I liked it more than Eternal personally.
So that means you also liked Doom 2016.
Love 2016 better. Yeah.
2016 lovers like the Dark Ages and don't like Eternal. I've noticed that.
I actually like Eternal and the Dark Ages way better than 2016.
Oh, okay, nice. Interesting.
Yours is a different paradigm. Usually, people that I speak to about this game like the second or the first and third.
I don't like the platforming in 2. Usually is like the biggest complaint with it, but I thought it worked well with it, how they integrated it. Like if you're going to add platforming, they did it the right way.
They did it the right way. Yeah. They did it better than Expedition 33.
That's much better.
Oh my god, the worst platforming ever. Yes.
Sorry,
Mario from 1986 plays better in platforming than there does.
So have these guys in the chat get at you for the Expedition 33.
Hey man, E33 boys, get at me. Let's go. Technically, I'm an E33 boy too. I finished that game and I still can. I think it should be on the Game of the Year list as well. But yes, that platform, no. They need to release a new patch that removes all the platforming or makes it optional. Anyway, yes. So no.
I would like to see them go back and tidy that section up, just that little bit. Just go, look, we've gone through. We heard your feedback and we've tidied up the platform. I don't know how they would do that,
right? But the platforming in general is not needed. So why bother add something in there that y'all ain't good at?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
well, that's the thing, right? I don't mind the side content. There were cute ideas, but if you can't execute it, at least, mostly functionally, which I would not argue that it's functional really the way it works, right? Just don't do it or change the mechanic to something that you do know that you can nail, right?
Yeah. It's funny we're having this conversation. A quick divergence. I find it super interesting that this game is not a AAA game, right? This game, like Kepler produced it, but obviously it's an indie thing that turned into something, Expedition 33, right? Mm-hmm. In the case of Mind's Eye, it's a AAA game that went through all this various levels of Q&A and still came out with very broken mechanics. I find that so interesting, super interesting, right? When an indie game comes out and it has billions of great ideas and then one or two ideas on the edges like platforming or something doesn't work, you're like, oh, we'll forgive them that. They were doing their best, right? But when Mind's Eye comes out and it's like so broken and you're just like, how did that pass like muster multiple times to get it literally to read,
I think arrogance. I think the arrogance of the game director, the guys who are at the top, ignoring the feedback from the people on the ground. And that's what it looked like.
It's more complex than that though, because in all reality, Mind's Eye was not supposed to be its own initial standalone thing, right? Like it was started as this giant metaverse thing, right? That they were trying to do. And then they started running out of money and then the NFTs and all that stuff, right, didn't really go where they were betting on it to go. And so then they were trying to pivot and salvage something, right, to recoup some level of money. And I think they just got to a point where they were, again, it wasn't the primary focus, so it wasn't given the attention that it should have had from the beginning. And then they had a finite budget left before everything was going to crash and burn. So they did what they could to get it out the door. And then Leslie started going out and, offering conspiracy theories before it came out to try to soften some of the blowback, I think, because they saw the problems, right? So it's not like it was just a game that just didn't do well, right? Like it was kind of
a very interesting, nuanced thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, because this is what we do here on the Gaming Circle. Every once in a while, we get some guests. Welcome, Paris Lily. What's going on, Paris?
Good morning to everyone on the panel. And
are you here for your villain arc, sir? I see your name. What are we doing right now?
The villain arc is always on point, but I do not want to derail the show. I am actually here for Infinite Umbra.
Oh, excellent.
You messaged me privately, and I did respond, and you never said anything back, so I'm here to confront you live on air.
Ooh, okay. Front Street, let's go. What's going on?
He messaged me, wanted me to come on the show today, and my response was, why? So you can mock my voice again, like you always do, and you think I don't pay attention?
I just looked at it now. Now, Paris, let's be adults here.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
I invited you in good faith because I felt like we could have a really great discussion here about games of the year and the specs of the next gen, and to toast to the console wars ending.
I don't quite think it works.
That was my intent.
Obama than anything else.
See, this is why this is why I don't like it.
It's very Obama.
Together,
because it's terrible.
We need to get together and read a book. I was trying to get Umber to do this, to just read a book, right? It was like with no camera, right? Just like it would be fantastic.
Oh, wow. And you're continuing. I hear you, sir. You think I can't hear?
This is what y'all came here to do. You came here to derail the show. I appreciate you.
But like I said, I just wanted to mess with you. I don't want to derail the show. Hello to Holly. Hello to Risk It. And sir, I will see you in 2 weeks at Gamescom.
Yes. You will be at Gamescom, right?
Yes.
A lot of moving and shaking. Excellent. I look forward to seeing you, sir. This will be fun. Now, this will be a perfect time. Housekeeping. We will not have a show next week because Gamescom. Let's just say this will be the last. Well, not last, but this will be the year I'll be going to Gamescom. Next year I will not be going to Gamescom, or I'll be divorced. Next year I'll be going to Japan. But this year's Gamescom, and I'm looking forward to it. Lots of interesting background conversations happening. Unlike last year, my appointment lists are pretty packed, like unusually so. So I look forward to seeing what happens there. Maybe we'll catch up during Gamescom, and we can see each other IRL. It'll be fun. I look forward to it.
Oh no, absolutely. Well, let me ask you this question because I don't know anyone that's going. But are you going to the Fan Fest that Xbox is doing?
I reached out to Xbox, and the Fan Fest is usually like in and out. You get what you get. You're lucky. Spoke with a couple people in the background. It doesn't seem like it's for us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
no. Yeah. That's pretty much what I was told. They were like, "No, you're not going."
There you go. It's all good. There's still so much to see there, even beyond what they will have to show. But I, of course, I'm excited for the handheld they will show. So I'm
handheld. It's funny because I was talking to some other people yesterday that are going, and there's literally going to be a race to the Xbox booth on the 20th to go get hands on because Silk Song. Yeah, because Silk Song's on there as well. So everybody wants to go play Silk Song and be the first to say they played it. I am going to go to the Witcher concert the night of the 20th. So I don't know if you're going to that, but that should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that too.
we should talk. There's some parties that I've been invited to that may be at the same time. So we'll chat. We'll chat in the background.
Yeah, there's I'm not trying to turn this into the Gamescom Coke session, but
there's definitely Gamescom talk happening. Let's go.
Are you going to that indie booth thing?
So I talked about that yesterday with a buddy of mine. We may jump in there, but it's at the same time as the Nordic conversation. They have an event. The Nordic games industry has an event at the same time, and we may find ourselves there. Last year I was there, really cool. Met a lot of very, very fun, interesting people, developers and things. So just so you guys know, and I can't film everything, but like when you go to Gamescom and you do what I do, sometimes if you're lucky you get invited to, after the shows are done, after the events are done, all the developers or all the publishing houses, the PR folks will get together and they'll have a party and they'll drink and talk about what happened, and you can interview people and meet people and all that. So I got to go last year to the Nordic party and found it was really awesome. So I look forward to going again this year. It's exactly the same time as that indie showcase thing. So we'll have to be flexible. We'll see what we have to do there, but there's potentially really cool people and interesting projects to discuss there. So
right on. And again, I do apologize. I did not mean to derail. I just wanted to mess with Infinite.
This is great. Risk it. You were there last year. Will you be there this year? What's going on, man? You coming?
No, I'm not gonna make it this year. This year I got way too much. I'm at the back end of a massive mobilization with work, and then there's a bit of uncertainty around I don't know, corporate movements. Who's going where? Who's doing what? So I'm sort of waiting to find out what I am going to be doing.
Understood.
I have some idea, but I can't leave the country at the minute because I need to wait to see what the hell's going on with that. Unfortunately, but I want to see Xbox do a fan fest, a final fan fest, a big last hurrah. Tell us it's the last one, and then I will move heaven and earth to be at that LA fan fest. But yeah, disappointing that it seems that's the way that these fan fests are going.
He's asking, Parasite 82 asking, what do I mean by people like me? People, content creators, people who do podcasts and things. They will invite you to either come cover their content or come and see some stuff that they'll be doing for later, so it can kind of help you calibrate the way you'll cover it later. Lots of interesting stuff in the background, stuff like that. So there's that. But yes, I'm excited for Gamescom. I titled this show Q2 because I feel like unusually this is a time frame where we really don't know what's happening in the second half of the year, right? We see that PlayStation does have Ghost of Yotai, which I'm excited to play, but by and large, for gaming writ large, Q2 is kind of quiet, right? It's kind of like, yeah, we're seeing some dribs and drabs as far as Ninja Gaiden and the like, but we don't really see the big monster that will be keeping people hype in the second half of the year. And I'm thinking that Gamescom may answer that for a lot of us. No?
Well, I disagree.
Okay, please.
October is a monster.
Okay.
The end of September going into the whole month of October is an absolute monster for games. And I'm gonna tell you a game that is a sleeper that it's not getting the love that it should, because I'm telling you it's gonna be way better than people think. The Outer Worlds 2. I'm telling you right now, that is going to be a superior RPG that is going to surprise a lot of people, which is why Xbox did the absolute right thing by lowering the price so that more people will be open to playing it when it comes out. It's Obsidian, man. I'm just saying, it's going to be good. That is my sleeper, and I'm sure you've seen the previews for Ninja Gaiden 4. Gaiden 4 is going to be really good. If what we played in the preview is any indication of the entire game, that is going to also be a highly desirable game to play. Not to mention Black Ops 7, not to mention Ghost of Yotai, not to mention Battlefield 6, not to mention Arc Raiders that's coming out, not to mention Keeper coming from Double Fine. The list goes on and on. Metroid Prime 4 is going to be in there somewhere. It's bananas. It's crazy.
I don't think COD's going to do it this year, guys. I just coming from I'm as a huge Call of Duty guy, Battlefield guy, and it got nothing to do with Battlefield 6 sort of coming in. They're very different games, very different games with a very different audience. There is some crossover, but just looking at what they showed for COD, they did not at all pique any interest in me, and that is weird. And that's very rare. And every time that's happened, that COD has been one of those CODs, you know. So Ghosts or the one where we were flying around in space. I don't know. I don't feel it with this COD at all.
By the way, the one floating around in space was damn good. No one gave it a shot.
It was good.
That's when it had Jon Snow in it. It was very good. No one gave it a shot. It was so good. And people thought it was excellent. So good. Yes. And the combat was excellent. And people gave it credit when it showed up in Starfield, Zero-G combat. That was happening there a long time ago. Nobody played it. It was very good. Anyway.
And the Indiana Jones DLC as well. And to your point about, and Borderlands 4. See, there's so much stuff coming. But to your point, Riskit, I hear you, because this feels like, what's the word I'm looking for? This feels like, gosh darn it, I'm blanking on the word. But the next Call of Duty is the big one. This is kind of a gap year. That's the word I'm looking for. This is a gap year for Call of Duty. So it will be interesting to see what they're able to put together for it, you know, as far as, you know, being good. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, Battlefield 6, if you've not played it, the open beta already is really good. So that is
I want to spend some time talking about the Battlefield 6 beta, and I know Holly and Riskit, y'all played it, so I really want to get your take on it. Before we move to it, though, you guys brought up Call of Duty, and I want to spend a little time talking about that, because there's a story this week that's related to the new Call of Duty that I think people are just kind of putting a pin in it, and I think that the pitchforks and the revolvers are off screen and will be showing up a little later, very, very soon on that. So
I will use that cue to gracefully exit.
Okay.
And thank you for having me up.
It is always great to see you, sir. Yeah. We will see you in 2 weeks, man. I'm excited.
I just want to say thank you for joining us.
Messy.
You enjoy your time at Gamescom, and thank you for joining us today.
Let me ask you a question, Infant, before I go. Now, because I know you're about to have a big milestone episode, right? When is that?
That should be this month, later this month. Yes.
Do you have an exact day?
Not quite, but I do plan on possibly. I'll be sure to alert you before that.
Please do. Please alert me the exact day that it's going to be. So on that exact day, I can make sure to not be there. Thank you.
And then he left. You ain't right for that.
That was almost slow-mo levels of slander. That was great.
That ain't right.
Anyway, so the story I was bringing up was the fact that the new Call of Duty, I don't know if people have seen this, the new Call of Duty will have a requirement that has that. For those who don't know, and this is a very PC-centric conversation, just to warn people now, right? But I have a feeling that this may turn into a thing if people didn't know that. TPM, which is the Trusted Platform Module. That is basically the same thing as on your iPhone. You have that, the security enclave that saves all of your special data, right? And iPhone uses that to keep all your special data. On a PC, they have a module on your motherboard called the TPM, and TPM 2.0. That's what they have, right? And in Windows 11, they started making a requirement that says you need the TPM to run Windows 11. It became a huge thing. People complained about it, and it's still there, but there are companies that are finding ways of stripping it out of Windows. So people are installing Windows 11 without TPM. There are Windows 11 installed all over the place without TPM, right? Now, Call of Duty is requiring a TPM just to get Call of Duty booted. So what does this mean? This means your great Windows 7 box that you've run for a while that could definitely run the next COD. This means that your Windows 8 box that you've run for a while that you keep upgrading that could definitely run the next COD. All of those machines that you used to run will not run anymore because they're requiring this TPM chip requirement. Now, on the flip, the reason why I think it might be a good thing is they're trying to use it to stop cheaters, right? That's literally what they're trying to use it for, right? They're trying to use it to stop all the circumventing of all that stuff. But at the end of the day, a lot of PCs can and do run Windows 7 and 10 and all of those, and they could run 11 as well. They choose not to run them either because there's a TPM requirement or whatever. But because of this, those PCs will not be able to play Call of Duty. Is this a big deal? I think it is. It's not quite there yet because the game has not released. But when it does, I have a feeling that a lot of pitchforks will come out on this specific situation, specifically on the PC side of the house. Risk it. I know you love this news. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's if you have sacrificed yourself on the altar of PC, then you deserve everything that happens to you. No, for me, obviously, this is not gonna worry me. But also with this sort of stuff, you know, the signing into this, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. Like, if that's what you have to do to play a game, I never have a problem with it. I have no issue with like I have to sign into PlayStation. I never got the backlash, the upsetness, and unless they can get some serious access to your data. Now, if that's a thing, then you know that would be my problem. But for me, like the signing in, the DRM, all that stuff that you need to do to be in.
This is not really the signing in or DRM. This is more your hardware is being gimped artificially so that you're not able to play this game because it does not have that security verification chip, right? Your CPU can handle it. Your GPU can handle it. You have more than enough RAM. Your machine can handle it. But because you don't have the security chip on your motherboard, now they're saying, nope, you can't play this game because that security chip needs to be there, and it's not there, so you are out in the cold. You can't play this. So a lot of people will have to upgrade hardware, like buy new hardware in order to play COD if they like COD that much. That's where I'm like, I completely agree with where this is going. I think this is a good move. I think this is all righteous and good. I do, but I feel like them pitchforks will be out because the Venn diagram of those people who are like, F Microsoft, I'm going to run Windows 7 forever and play my games, right? Because they don't like what Microsoft is doing as far as all the DRM and all that other stuff in the later versions. They are now forcing you to either upgrade or stop playing your favorite game. That's where I think the pitch come out.
Who's running COD with Windows 7? But
lots of people. A lot of people, because Windows 7 to them is the last stable OS, and then Windows 10 was the last stable OS. All of those can run without TPM chips, right? If you run those now and you try to install COD, it'll be like, nah, fam, you don't have a TPM chip. I ain't running. It's going to be a thing.
But like, this is the future, man. Like at some stage, they've got to make that leap. If this is what they're going to use. What does it do though? What does this do? It prohibits cheating, or like, what's its purpose?
Yes. It's supposed to prohibit cheating. That's the best way I can describe it. For people to understand, it's that secure enclave on your iPhone, right? Whenever you save your face data or your fingerprint data or whatever, it goes on that secure chip so nobody can have easy access to it, right? So similarly, they've implemented this TPM solution to similarly, like, instead of just having kernel access, it goes through the TPM. So you really need to learn how to circumvent the TPM in order to cheat, which good luck with that.
So like, there is rampant cheating going on with Call of Duty. We've all seen it, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's rampant cheating going on most multi-platform,
which is even on Battlefield 6 already.
Yeah,
already
happened.
So my thing is, I looked into it a little bit, Kay, and it was saying that because I was wondering what exactly is the negative side effects. So I see some people in the chat saying it's more like Slow-Mo mentioned, like it's more hurtful towards the gamers. I would ask, how is that the case, or what's the worry? Because according to them, this won't access anything of our personal files or information.
No.
Yeah.
It's basically that. Let's see, your PC, right? Umbra, you built your PC, beautiful. It runs great. You are a big
bought my PC. Yeah.
Sure. Big COD player. It's what you use it for. It's almost like, because this would affect someone who's like Fortnite-esque, somebody who's hardcore into that kind of game, right? Yeah. It's almost like you're going to have to basically throw away your box and get a new one, even though you're not at the end of its technical requirements. You know what I'm saying? Like the idea of, well, my phone is too old, everything's running slow, so I'm just going to get rid of it and get a new phone. Great. But when Android goes, yeah, your phone's good, hardware's good, but we're going to via software gimp it for reasons, pitchforks. You know what I'm saying?
That's but do you think it's much complaining, kind of like much ado about nothing, though? If it's ultimately not causing any in-game user issues.
A lot of people hate what Microsoft does when it comes to the TPMs and all that, right? When iOS does it, it's like, well, it's time to upgrade, right? We all move along because that's what their requirements are. But Microsoft has always they've always received a lot of pushback whenever they want to make a change, whether it's for the good or whatever, right? And a lot of people still run Windows 10 and Windows 7. There's tools called Rufus that literally rips out that TPM requirement from Windows so people can run it without it.
Wow.
Right? So there are lots of people that run Windows without a TPM, which technically they should not be able to in Windows 11 world.
That sounds very hackery to me. Like these people are going out of their way to make sure they can cheat. That's what it sounds like to me. Like who's doing all of that? Let me go back to Windows 7 to try to play a game. Like who's doing that?
We shall see. No, honestly, we shall. And this is why I'm saying let's put a pin in it. Because the Venn diagram will show itself. Either, like you say, it's the very few who really have this requirement, and because of that, it will just blow over, or more and more people will complain about it. And I think that's what's happening. That's why they were early in putting this out. Understand that this is what's going to happen. You have until the fall or till whenever we're releasing this game. When it comes out, if you're running a Win 7 box or something that doesn't use it, you know, you ain't playing this game. They're giving you fair warning, is what I'm thinking. You know.
Yeah. I mean,
like right now, again, this is for PC gamers only. Console people don't have to worry about it because you guys don't have an open platform. So this is never anything that you guys have to worry about. But in general, I would say, remember that Helldivers 2 kerfuffle that PC people came through? Similarly, there might be something like that here when this thing is widespread. Right, when you buy, when a bunch of people just buy it day one and they go, I can't play this. What? I'm not allowed to play this. It would be a thing. You know?
I mean, the whole situation with the Helldivers situation, though, that was with them having to register with PSN, though, right?
Yes. It's a different scenario. I'm talking more to the ire of the PC base. Right, like when they get their pitchforks up, oh boy, that's the feeling that they happen here. You know,
that is true. PC gamers have actually surprised me on how like staunchly they stick together when it comes to those issues.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they better or they smarter or any of that. They are just as militant and sometimes as hard-headed, just the same way. It's just when they get together, boy, it's a thing. It's a thing. So we shall see. As Slomo was saying, close to 50% of PC gamers in Steam survey use Windows 10. A lot of people use non-TPS required Windows. So we shall see. You know, it's a thing. But anyway, I want to talk more about Battlefield because I didn't get a chance to play it. I don't tend to be that multiplayer gamer, which by the way, we're looking to change. In the Discord today, we're having conversations. I see the man Wolf was in there, a few other folks. They want to start doing like a game night so we can all jump in and all that, right? It's all good, right? But as of right now, I have not really been about that. People are saying that Battlefield may be how we traverse that divide. Lucius, I see you in there. I know Lucius played it as well. He wanted to send me some footage, sir. Depending on the size of the footage, it might be a problem. StreamYard and all that. We'll talk about it later. It's an OBS thing. It's the tomorrow problem. Don't worry about it though. But I appreciate the footage. We will use it for another day. Risk it. I will start with you. I know you played the game. I know you tend to be a multiplayer guy. You tend to love these kind of multiplayer games. So what do you think, sir? Battlefield has its storied history. Is Battlefield back in your estimation?
Oh, Battlefield's definitely back for sure. There's but that's not to say there's not. I mean, like I play Battlefield so much. There's my Battlefield 4 dog tags from the special edition, like hanging up there.
Okay.
And that launch was horrific. I don't know. A lot of people remember that launch fondly and that game fondly, but like if you remember the launch, it was rubber banding. It was horrific. So probably the best Battlefield launch has been one up until now. I think, but that's not to say there's not any problems. So there's a few things I'll run through that'll tell you that there is some problems with this game they need to work on. So the first thing and the biggest thing, and I think if you're a Battlefield player, is the server browser is not available. It doesn't operate like, the way that they're saying it's going to operate is through Portal. And that is not the way traditionally that we've had a server browser. Server browser has always been a thing with it inside Battlefield, which is you will have your regions. People can actually buy a server. They can run specific game modes on specific sets of maps. They can set up sort of rules within that server browser. So you can find server browsers that you like with the rules that you like and be in those. Also, you can build clans and obviously have battles with each other within your specific server browsers. And that feature seems like it's going to be cut down or cut back for some reason, which is pretty disappointing. And I certainly hope that they listen to the community feedback on that one, because I think that one is the biggest issue at the moment. At the moment, it's running like CoD. You know, you pick your mode, you hit the button, and then you go to a mode. The other thing that I am disappointed in, and it's a real issue for me, and if you play Battlefield the way that Battlefield is supposed to be played, then you understand this. There's a lot of people probably coming to this game from the outside, which is the reason they've done this, that are new to the franchise or you know, not hardcore sort of players. And that is that they've opened up the classes. So each class has a specific weapon with a specific set of perks, and also has a specific set of equipments. So like your support class in this one is it's LMGs. You have heal packs and ammo packs that you drop on the ground, and you can quick revive anyone in the game. You can revive anyone in the game. You can revive any one of your squad members if you're like whatever class you are, but you can't revive everyone, and you can't do it with the paddles, the quick revive. So, and what they've done is they've opened up the weapons. So you can go into support and you can use an assault rifle. Now you lose some of the perks that you would get from doing that if you switch weapons. But I mean, it makes classes like engineer really overpowered because you're now an engineer and you're not gimped using an SMG, because normally you would have to use an SMG, but you've got the ability to take out tanks, you've got the ability to place mines and all that sort of stuff. But the thing that sort of nerfs that class is that you're close range combat, so you got to get in close. So yeah, it for me, like, you should be playing your role in Battlefield. So I don't like that they've opened up the classes. They've got two distinct in the beta at the moment, because there was some complaints about this, that they've put in two distinct, one that's a closed, so all the weapons are locked to the classes, and one that isn't. And I think that that's a bit of a bullshit way to do it, excuse the language, because they've put that tile with the open weapon classes first. So that's the one that people who aren't like, versed in Battlefield will go to that not knowing what the difference is, right? There is a few other issues. So that's like the issues with the game that they've are supposed that they've purposely put in there, that they need to work on. But at the moment, so what I've found is that there is a delay, and this is something that apparently is they're working on. There's a delayed sprint to fire. So when you're sprinting, if you come straight out of sprint and you go into aim, there sometimes is a delay. With the LMGs, sometimes they will literally stop firing for no reason. So you'd be like having your finger on the trigger, it's pumping out weapons, and then it just stops or stutters for a second and then starts again. So that's an issue that I've come across a few times. There is, and people will be like, how does this work? So how is that possible? But the time to kill and the time to death aren't always lining up. So there's always been netcode issues with Battlefield. Apparently they built this one from the ground up. They shouldn't have any of the legacy netcode issues, but it is slightly off where the TTD and the TTK aren't currently matching up. So that is an issue I believe that they are aware of and are working on. One of the things that I find is really important in these FPS games for me, just to understand how my system's running, and how my net's running, is to have an FPS counter and a ping counter. So I know what I'm wrong. So like, you know, if I'm having problems in a game, I know it's because my ping's a bit high. I need to find another server, or I know, you know, or my FPS is like stuttering all over the place. So I know it's that issue. It's not the net issue. It does have that stuff, but it's a full bar at the top of the screen, which is distracting and hard to see. What they normally have is just your FPS counter and ping counter up in a corner. I would love to see that come back. I haven't heard many people complain about that. However, one of the other ones that I found was really interesting, that was odd, and I didn't realize it was happening until I started playing around with the scopes, is that the scopes aren't reading correctly. So it's saying it'll be like 1.5 zoom, and what you've actually got is 2 times zoom. And then you go to the 6 times zoom, and it will be like 1 time zoom. And you're like, what's going on here? There's something wrong here. But all the scopes are there. You've just got to figure out which one's got the right zoom.
They're just mismatched. Weird.
They're just mismatched. Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah. I don't know why that is, but apparently that's a known problem as well.
Zoomception. Let me ask you, Riskit, and I want to drag on because I know I want to get Holly's thought too, and yours as well. But the whole browser situation, and you just mentioned the whole seeing your counters as far as your frames per second. On gaming PC, I never have that on. I know some PC heads are like, oh, I got to see my frames per second. I don't want all that clutter on my screen, but I get it if you're playing something like this. And for you guys, is it kind of region specific where you all have these issues as far as ping and all that go? And that's why you care for the browser, because it enables you to like pick better lobbies and things like that are more full. And is that what it is?
Yeah. So EA has host servers in different regions, and my region's Oceania. So that's like the Kiwis and us, and I think a little bit of Indonesia as well. So it encompasses all of that. And we might get some South Koreans in there and stuff like that as well. So, and then not all of those servers are equal. So like some will be in Sydney and some will be over in Indonesia. And you don't want to get the Indonesian ones. You want to get the Sydney ones if you can. And you'll see a slight difference in ping. Yeah. So in the server browser, that's a good way to tell sort of where, which ones you should be in. Someone there, Danny, it's debated if you have fun. Yeah, I did. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to that. But yeah, that server browser's pretty important if you're a Battlefield. But I think also, you know, when you're talking about you've got cross states, so you know you've got your East Coast, your West Coast, you want to be in the right browser. So
in general, that kind of a browser is necessary for any multiplayer game, because usually these days they do a lot of automation, and you're in this location, we'll pick the right server for you to make sure your ping is low or whatever. They can't always do it perfect, so it's great to have a browser like that so that you can make that determination. I'm closer to this. This server, I know this server, it tends to have more stability than another. It's just good for a health of a longevity of a multiplayer to have those kind of manual things that you yourself can interface with.
Yeah, and the other thing is when it becomes to the end of life for one of these games, when you've got server browsers, there's people that host browsers that have people in them. Right. Yep. So you can still find games
going forever. That's right, absolutely. Yeah. So then people can attach themselves to the servers. So now they become the next server location or whatever, and then the game lives on without the official servers. Always good to have that. That's great.
Which is really, really good. But it's something they've been trying to get away from since Battlefield 5. They tried to push away from it. There was complaints. They had to do it again. 2042, they did have a server browser. They didn't have it initially, but they buried it in one of the portal menus. Honestly, 2042, you can't even talk to me about that game. That game is absolutely horrific. Everything that they did, they just did it wrong. So yeah, they've been trying to get away from it. I don't know why or what the issue is, but we'll see. Operation Metro, I love that. So there is a hard lock issue on Xboxes. So Grey Monad, if you know me, you know one of the guys I hang out with quite a lot is Grey Monad, and his Xbox hard locked 6 times, and mine hard locked once. So like just black screen, Xbox off straight, like it did. Not even a warning. You just like, what? She's gone. So there is an issue there. They're aware of that one too. Okay. Now, the map balancing, this is something that the Battlefield gets really, really right and gets really, really wrong. This particular map that you're showing on the screen now is fine with Conquest and a lot of the modes, but they haven't really thought out. Let me get to the good stuff. they haven't really thought out the map balancing when it comes to breakthrough, which is a mode that where you push forward, you take 2 points, and then you can push forward, take the next 2 points, push forward. It's very much like an actual war where you're trying to gain ground. This particular map, it's real easy to lock people in their spawn at the start of the game. Like it doesn't happen every game, but it is really easy to do it. And it's a bit of a sniper fest. So there is some map balancing issues. Class balancing is bang on. They got the class balancing right. I'm not overly keen on the fact that they're switching the spawn beacon, which is a beacon you can spawn in on, to assault, because I feel like you can push forward with assault, drop a spawn beacon, spawn in from there, and keep pushing forward that way. And I feel like that might break some modes, but that'll be interesting. But on the whole, they have 110% balanced these classes right, and it's good to see a return to classes. The gunplay is, aside from some of the TTK and TTD, when it's working well, it is absolutely solid. Like for a Battlefield, it's probably the best. It's probably the best TTK I've seen. Weapons wise, there's a good spread of weapons. They all play really, really well. They're visually, to be able to see, there has been some issues in past Battlefields because there's a lot going on. Visually, it was difficult in Battlefield 1 to begin with, and Battlefield 5 and 2042 to see the enemy at a distance. This is not much of an issue. I do have some issues with the sniper glint. I think it's a little bit too much. They need to have it, but they don't need to have it so crazy. But yeah, honestly, that's the problems that I have with the game. But the overall gameplay, the feel of I mean, this shotgun's ridiculous. Like you can smash someone halfway across the map with it, but they'll fix that. This is Battlefield like at its absolute best. They've gone back to Battlefield 3 feels and Battlefield 4 feels, and it just has that modern twinge to it. And I know that Holly was saying earlier on today on the Infinite, or yesterday for you guys, that it feels like a 2017 game, and that's what we wanted. We wanted the proper Battlefield. Tanks feel amazing. They don't feel overpowered. They don't feel underpowered. If you're working in a squad, this game absolutely shines. You need to be working in a squad. You need to be having that guy who can heal you. You need to be having that guy who's spotting out tanks and dropping tanks from a distance. You need all that stuff.
Risk it. Dorian Gray is asking how much money they paying you for this beautiful ad you're giving them.
Look, you have to understand that I was ranked number 3 for the engineer class in Australia.
Oh wow!
For 2 of the Battlefields. So like
we're speaking to a ringer. Okay, I feel you.
Yeah, I was a very, very dedicated Battlefield player. I did not play anything else. I only played this game. And if there's anyone who would like absolutely like, Battlefield 1 was the last decent Battlefield game. Everything they did after that was absolutely horrendous. They made some terrible decisions. It is great to see that they're back. This is not a CoD game. So if you're a CoD player, you don't play this like you play CoD. And will this compete with CoD? I think there'll be some crossover, but this is not a game that's here to kill CoD. And it's when they started to look at CoD as competition where they really, really went wrong. What they should be doing is being the best Battlefield that they can be, and I feel like that they have done that. At the moment, it's early days, but at the moment, it feels like they are being the best Battlefield that they can be, and that's all they're worrying about. Can they hit the 100 million players? I don't know, man. But if there is a Battlefield that can, then it's this game. It is this game.
I just want to throw it out there to your point on that. You know, if you all hadn't noticed or looked yet, there was an update. They said right now, Battlefield 6 open beta has surpassed 438K concurrent on Steam.
It's over 475 now.
Oh wow! So there you go.
Yeah. So I think they can do it.
I hadn't heard your beautiful voice in a while. Tell us your experiences with it a little bit. Like I know you've been playing it as well.
I have. I guess Risk It and I come from very different places about Battlefield on the whole. So, COD and Battlefield, while they are both milsim, genre-ish, they're very different games, right? So this whole idea, it's funny because I tweeted a week ago or so, like, because Jess was like, which one's gonna win? And I was like, in all reality, like,
Damn.
This argument comes up every time, right? Every time there's a Battlefield, this argument pops up, and it's not really an argument to entertain to me because they're just very different, right? And they never should actually be competing against each other for viability, because I think most people who play milsims probably want to play both. But I am more of a Call of Duty fan in the gameplay mechanics and the way the game plays, whereas Riskit clearly, enjoys Battlefield more than he does Call of Duty. And it's not to say that you can't enjoy both, but you have a preference usually, right? My coming from somebody whose preference is just the way Call of Duty plays, for me to jump into Battlefield, the last Battlefield I played was Battlefield 1, and I did not enjoy it at all. I didn't like the campaign. I didn't enjoy the multiplayer in it. And I almost only played solo. So if you have a squad, I would say with any game, if you have a squad, it's always more fun, period. Right. But this game, and this is probably just a thing too, right, is that Battlefield, I feel like the way it plays, because of the classes that Brisket was talking about, I feel like it's a game that almost needs you to have people to play with more consistently than as a Call of Duty, where you could just come in and out as you want, no harm, no foul. And it just plays very rapidly. I like the rapid pace of Call of Duty. I like the Twitch shooter stuff. Battlefield is not that. Although I would say it feels to me, and not as a Battlefield pro, so don't get mad at me, but it feels like they sped it up just a little bit, because they know that there is an audience, right, for people coming from people who enjoy the Twitch shooter side a little bit more. The UI is absolutely horrendous. It's really bad. It's terrible. And somebody who's not used to playing Battlefield that often is the person that you want to ask, right? Is this UI serviceable? And to me, it's not. It's really terrible. I couldn't figure out how to switch classes in the middle of a game for like a solid 2 hours of play, right? Because I would load into a map and I'd load in with the sniper set or the recon set, right, which is your sniper. And I was like, well, this clearly is not a good sniping map. So I was trying to figure out how to get out of it. The only thing I could figure was, well, just change my main gun right now, because I can't figure out how to change classes. And eventually I got to it. The game relies a lot of the game relies on people actually being willing to play their classes if you're loading in without a squad, and people don't really do that. So it's just more things to fight within the game that are uncontrollable. It's not you, it's not you in the game playing the game. It's a little more like ancillary push and pull that comes with playing Battlefield, right? Again, it's the mechanic of the game. Like it, love it, hate it, whatever. I didn't have any issues. I played on the Series X. I had no issues with my Xbox dropping it, hard locking or anything like that. None whatsoever. So I don't know why that happened. Umbra, yes. I always play with my ping on in Call of Duty. And it's not obtrusive at all on the screen. It's just tiny little text and it sits up at the top, because ping is more important to me. Well, playing a Series X, right? King. So you get what you get, but ping is important.
Oh yeah, it's critical. It's critical.
It is, yeah. Otherwise, I guess I just didn't find a lot of super enjoyment in it, and I haven't played enough to. And they're releasing new modes. King of the Hill, I think, came yesterday, right? And I think Rush is coming this weekend. So I want to get into those. I want to try those out. I should play with some other people, right? I did play with the squad a little bit the other day, so we sort of got that. Like I was I was an engineer and somebody was, because I'm an engineer in real life, so I have to be an engineer in the game. We had a medic, and then we
shout
had,
out to engineers in the room.
And so I guess my overall take is they're very different. And coming from the COD community, people are fed up with COD. And the problem is, we talked about this last night, Call of Duty, the reason that it's the reason that people are fed up with the way it looks and the aesthetics and all that stuff, but still stay, is because the game is good at its core. The functionality, they have everything down when it comes to gameplay mechanics, the movement. Even with bringing Omni movement in this year was a very big deal. The game just plays freaking fantastic, and the campaigns are top notch. Massive blockbuster style movie style campaigns. They're fun, they're engaging, they're very good. The gameplay is quick in and out. You don't have to have a friend online. You can, it doesn't really matter. They have zombies, right? Like the actual gameplay of COD is king. It's superior. The problem is that they have just lopped all this lipstick and filler and Botox and butt jobs and all this stuff right on top, and it's
Beavis and Butthead
butt jobs. What do you mean, like BBLs?
They're doing all the plastic surgery. They're doing all the plastic surgery that nobody wants.
BBLs and bullets. That's what you tell us.
They're trying to bring in, they're trying to bring in the ADHD crowd. They're trying to bring in the kids who like to pull them off of Fortnite, right? They're just trying to bring in as much as they can and just have everybody in. And I think I would just love for them to just pull it back a little bit, or at a very minimum, put a toggle on. And this is not a moratorium on Call of Duty, talking about the Battlefield beta, but it does, like, you do have to have this conversation, right? Because even Vince Zapilla has been talking about how they're not going to COD it up, right, on their aesthetics. But at the bare minimum, Call of Duty really should at least implement some kind of toggle where you could just turn off looking at Nicki Minaj shooting you with a gun that shoots bright pink, or Cheech and Chong shooting me and me turning into a human-sized blunt and falling dead on my face, right? Like, I'm tired of that stuff. I don't want to see it. I'd rather see a bunch of stock skins running around, and they should do that for the people who don't want to see it. Now, I am guilty. I have the unicorn skin. I adore it. I love it. I stick out like a sore thumb on the map, so it's a detriment to me, but I enjoy it, right? And I have the Beavis and Butthead skins because, and they're great because they do run around the map. They scream like crazy when they're getting shot at. Like yeah, they do. They do. It's ridiculous.
So you're part of the problem.
I am, but I am also fine with them just getting rid of that stuff in the future. You know what I mean? Like, I have no problem with most of that stuff going away, or at least toning it down, right? And having it a little bit closer to what the game, the core of the game should look like. Having said that,
you think they have
Battlefield
to do it, because of the whole Fortnite situation now, like you said, capturing that audience? Do you think they need to do that?
I don't think they need to do it, but I think that it sells. And whoever is doing their black sell, like, I used to buy every season pass, but the black sell stuff that you buy and you spend money on, it just doesn't look good. It's not even attractive anymore. Sorry, that might be me, but it's not even, like, it just looks ridiculous every time. And it just kind of like tops itself. And you're just like, okay, like, I don't even want to
race to the bottom, right?
Yeah, it's like, I don't even want all this extra stuff, but I want the guns that you have in the battle pass, right? Now I have this stupid skin I will never wear because I think it's ugly, but at least I got the gun.
So, Holly, I was talking. We were in the Discord, and Slow-Mo was showing us his what do you call it? His collection of skins for Fortnite, right? And it really like, because I'm not that much of a Fortnite player. I don't play this as much, but it really showed me something, right? Like the characters they choose, or even how they crystallize their world, allows for a lot of different characters to kind of live together in their new kind of cartoony art style. So like you can have like Metal Gear next to Witcher, next to Halo, next to, you know, all the weird, next to, you know, the freaking Power Rangers, and they all kind of work to various degrees. To me, I'd say Master Chief looks a little weird there. I'd say like Garroth looks a little weird, but by and large they work, right? The thing that I've noticed is they haven't, at least with Call of Duty anyway, they haven't worked to create that visual language that lets them all live together. So like BBLs stick out.
Right.
Literally. I didn't mean that. You know what I mean? Like Beavis and Butthead just look odd.
They literally stick out. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, right? I think maybe that's the fundamental problem here. If they want to compete with Fortnite in a real way, they need to do the work to create a visual language where they all can kind of live better together. And they haven't done that.
You're absolutely right. But the difference too is that Fortnite was literally built with a cartoon skin to begin with, right? That's the aesthetic of the game. And it was built to bring in kids.
Yeah.
Right. And a younger audience. And it's always been designed that way. And when they do bring in a new skin, it still has that same aesthetic of the skin, right? Like you're saying, right? Everything sort of is cohesive.
It all has a design lens.
Yes. Call of Duty was not started that way. And now they're trying to like shove a square peg in a round hole, right? And so you're right. Like this last time they added this thing called like CoD Tunes Pit or something like that, where the maps were all cartooned, skinned, same maps, right? But they put a cartoon skin on them, and they had some rewards for if you went and played in that group of maps. And so I guess you could do something like that, but really what they should do, and you're absolutely right, is have COD and then have COD tunes or whatever you want to call it, right? And have a whole wing of multiplayer for all of that stuff. And then you could even make it more goofy, right? Or more bouncy, kind of like Fortnite
you could just play Battlefield 6, you know? Where it has the real military simulations going on, the real stuff happening.
There you go. If you don't want that BBL edition, you know what we got for you. Battlefield.
I just don't. Yeah, and like Battlefield should never be Call of Duty, and Call of Duty should never be Battlefield. They have their own space. They need to keep their own space.
They should all be allowed to live in their own space. Yeah,
they should, and do different things, right? And they do different things, and that's good. That's a great thing, right? My only, I guess, I thought it played very well. The gameplay is good. I disagree with Riskit about the sniper glare. I don't think it's that big. I don't think it's that big a deal. But the one thing I will say, just coming from an outside perspective, casual Battlefield player, is that it does, and this is what he already said and stole my thunder about what I was going to say, but from my perspective is it has basically taken 3 and 4 and just put some new graphics on it, right? And brought it to today. And that's probably a great thing for the Battlefield core audience. Not denying that, right? And it is good for them to just have a game that works. After 2042's launch and the rough time that they had with that, they need to have a solid game. So I understand playing it safe. I understand bringing it back to the absolute core, right? And let's just get a game that's good so people have a great taste in their mouth again about Battlefield. But from the other perspective is that 2042 really excited me more than I think any other Battlefield game I've ever had, because it looked so good, right? They just didn't execute it right. But it had innovation. and it had new ideas, right? And it had a new aesthetic that was unique, and it looked great. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
This one has nothing that looks like it's innovating or 2025, right? To sort of bring in that ADHD crowd, or for people to, like, people beyond the core Battlefield people that will always play it. Nothing that looks like it's going to have huge appeal to stay for the longevity, right? That is innovative and kind of exciting.
I sort of feel like, again, I'm going to say again, there is Portal, which is very much like the Forge mode in Halo, and it looks like they've got some really good tools for that. But also, to your point, I will agree a little bit that they, because the stuff that you sort of that was in 2042 was an expansion on the Battlefield 4 Levolution, where they had big, in 2042 they had like a tornado, and then they had this big thing in this map, and they had this big thing, right? All this stuff was happening. If that's the innovation that you're sort of talking about, I will agree that they definitely would, that the game could benefit from that, and that would be good to see them bring back that. But this is a good base to start with, and they haven't had that good base, and they do need it.
Risk it. My only bit of, like, I'm loving the brain dump of Call of Duty, of Battlefield versus Call of Duty. My only not pushback, but my only bit of criticism in what I'm hearing is, in general, Battlefield tends to have what I consider used car salesman energy. Levolution, they come up with fake ass words that ultimately mean nothing. you know what I'm saying? Like, they do that a lot, and EA does that a lot every time they sell this game. Last time I played it, the Battlefield moments, and they show you the tornadoes while people are, but it seems like it's like someone's creating a very good trailer, but like the times in between there tend to be lacking. At least that's what it seemed like for the last one. So I guess I'm hoping that this one is beyond just the trailer.
And the last one, they went way too big. That was the thing. They were like, bigger is better. And it's like, it's not better, because you ran for 20 minutes through an empty map
in between,
you got to a point,
and then one big highlight moment.
And then you got to a point where you probably got sniped, and you didn't even get to play. Like the few times that I really jumped when I jumped into Battlefield after the beta for 2042, which I knew I already knew it was a disaster, so I didn't buy the game. But like when I jumped into the 10 hours free that you get with EA, that's what happened. I ran for like 10 minutes through the map, then I got sniped, and I'm like, this is not going to produce any kind of fun. Whereas this is a good base, and Holly, I agree with that point. Like, there's not like anything like super different to 3 and 4, and they're sort of bringing back, they're sort of leading a little bit on that nostalgia, which is good.
Hey,
but
man.
Also,
Zempella's got to put a level playing ground, man. Zempella's got to get the level playing ground.
And I think just to the longevity point, that's what I think they're going to do, Holly. I think that they've already sort of said, like, we're planning on iterating on what we have over time. Like, this is going to be, I think, their Battlefield for the next 5 years, sort of thing. They're going to iterate on that and hopefully build something that is a little bit more 2025. I'm hoping, but it's pretty solid, man. It's that solid that I recommend that everyone burn their COD discs and just jump straight to Battlefield.
Burn their COD discs, he says.
It is tough.
All right, on that slanderous point, let's pause for some giveaways, and let's do some super chats and a couple giveaways, and we'll get back to it. I love the Call of Duty talk. Before we get out of here, though, I do want to touch on some odds and ends that I think are permeating the zeitgeist that I want to hear your opinions on, because man, oh man, there's some fun being had in our Discord. By the way, join our Discord, cheap plug. The Gaming Circle a podcast, the Gaming Circle podcast, so TGCP. Join the Discord. Lots of fun there. Riskit joined us. He joins us every once in a while. He has some fun in that conversation. Although people keep trying to take his knees, but that's a whole different conversation. Anyway, some super chats. The great Sith Lord, $2 super chat. He says, "Love it when my Chi-Town fam comes together." They're here. They're enjoying themselves on this show. I would say this is the infinite GCP podcast. All I need now is Mr. Moody to join us, and we complete. It's a beautiful thing. Thank y'all so much for being here. Slow-mo backslap. He's been a member for 17 months. Thank you, Slow-mo. He says, this will hurt more legit gamers than cheaters, Kay. Yes, and I think he's talking about the Call of Duty TPM requirement there. Yes,
yeah, he was.
And I honestly think that's why the pitchforks will come out. We haven't gotten there yet, but put a pin in that. Pitchforks soon to come out. There you go. Hollywood Rules, member for 5 months. He says, good morning, gray beards. Well, you know, we're not all gray beards. Holly, I think you cover yours quite well. So there you go. She's like, what?
I shaved
gray
this
beards? Yes, there you go. You guys are keeping me company on my NYC, on my way to NYC for work. August is making backlogs more backlogged. Oh man, yeah, that I feel the same way. With me, it's work. Work is making my backlog crazy these days, but it's all good, you know. Shout out to you for being here. Thank you. Danny Passion Official, $2 super chat. He says, risk it. It's a beta. Did you have fun? I guess he did, even though he had a lot of critique, you know. Which, hey, you can only critique what you love, you know, and clearly he's about that battlefield life. So I appreciate his opinions on that. Erodimus, who's been a member for 15 months, he's reminding everybody to hit the like button and share it out. Erodimus, I appreciate you, good sir. Wonderful, wonderful message. Please, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button. Thank you so much. Hollywood Rules with another $2 super chat. He says Battlefield 6 open beta is available for everyone to go play it. Actually, before it's done, I might try and play it today if I can. We'll see how it goes. But yes.
Yeah, same. I'm going to jump on it today.
Yeah, I might jump on it today and see what I get. And then Hollywood Rules again with a $2 super chat. He says, CoD is my drug of choice. LOL. But I will play Battlefield 6. Well, there you go. Right? Everybody has their preferences on where they play. It seems like Riskit is far more Battlefield and Holly is far more Call of Duty. Holly, I will ask you this before we move on. Has it been, and this is just me noticing the environment, have you noticed that Call of Duty is now like the favorite multiplayer to dump on? Like a lot of people dump on Call of Duty. Like a lot of people. I hear it all the time.
It's unfortunately
because I know you play it a lot.
It is. That's the unfortunate part is like nobody ever picks on the gameplay, how the game works, any of that stuff because they can't, because they've perfected it, right? But they've done such a disservice to their own quality, like their own reputation and quality, right, by just the shameless cash grabs with all of the cosmetics and stuff that, and again they, like you pointed out, right, they could do it, they just haven't managed it correctly, right? So it's I don't know, I feel very sad for Call of Duty because the product is absolute perfection and quality. They just have done it to themselves.
They haven't done it well. Yep. I agree with you. I also do think, and the reason why I'm keeping an eye on it, this is my slanderous purview, as Aaron was about to say, of course, because it's now owned by Microsoft. That's what I was thinking. Like, I don't play these games, so I don't know. That's why I'm asking those who play. But I'm like, as soon as that guy, they were owned, now they're the worst game ever made. Like, calm down, people. What's going on?
Yeah.
Even though everyone
it's been
buys
like
them.
this for a while, though.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I will also say, shout out to the Infinite Umbra in the chat, doing the Lord's work, dropping mad codes. I'm actually doing similarly as well. If you happen to see it, how about you grab the code? If you would redeem it, let Infinite Umbra know that you got it. We appreciate you, Umbra, for doing so. I see Middle Earth in there. I see one of my favorites, Mortal Kombat. I'm a big MK guy from way back. Fear. There's a lot of games being thrown in the chat, and of course, not to be outdone, the great Dr. Dryrub also assisted me in also dropping some codes. So if you have a chance to, you'll see that I just put a Steam code of Dragon's Dogma 2 in the chat. So shout out to Dr. Dryrub. Appreciate y'all.
Just want to make sure that I give him this credit. This is for Cover Me Taco, aka Ryan Ginther. He donated all those codes that I'm posting here. Just want to make sure everybody knows.
Ryan.
So
thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. That's awesome. And on that same point, I will be dropping another code courtesy of Dr. Dryrub. This is for me, game of generation. game of the generation. I know Risk It's going to sit there and go, cap or whatever. But it's
I already know what it is.
Am I dropping? I'm dropping GOG's version of Cyberpunk 2077.
No, trash. Yeah.
Nice.
Don't download
Nice.
that.
One of the best games ever made, ladies and gentlemen. Even if you don't own the fabled handheld, how about you grab that code now? So when you get a handheld, the first game you're playing is one of the greatest games ever made on your handheld. It's right in the chat.
Terrible.
Yep.
That's exactly right, Rob. All
Worst
right.
game ever made.
So the worst game in the world. Yes. Worst game ever made. Anyway. So, okay, before it is an excellent game. It is an excellent game that was bogged down by lots of, technical blah, blah, blah. But, at this point, I think more people should play it. It's great. It's a great game. All right. So let's get to one or two more stories and then we'll get out of here because I don't want to belabor it too much longer. We had a bunch of PlayStation news, a lot of, another cheap plug. We have these discussions on our Discord all the time. What PlayStation's doing, what Xbox is doing, blah, 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 blah. Right? I've been famous or infamous, if you will, as saying, don't listen to what PlayStation says or does. Look at what Microsoft did like 4 years ago, and you will see what PlayStation is doing. And here we are. I really want to get people's senses of it because I know that it's a lot of conversation that's happening in the community. It looks like by some conversations they've had, we've seen their numbers, as it were, the financial numbers. We're not gonna go through that. Who cares about their numbers? They're making money. Congratulations to them. But it looks like they are now, quote, moving away from the hardware platform to a community platform, a community model, meaning TLDR, we're doing what Microsoft is doing. So what do we think? I hear some people are still fighting the good fight saying, nah, fam, there's nothing changed here. I don't see anything. Everything's the same. And then others are going, oh, it's over. Risk it, sir. You seem to be one of the last holdouts. You're buying a PC for non-gaming purposes. Good luck with that one, by the way. What do you think of this news?
Well, look, I do got to get out of here, so I'll make this my exit as well. Mm-hmm. But there's been a lot of conversation in the community about this, and my thoughts haven't changed. Holly's probably going to roll her eyes if you want to zoom in. But yes, I think PlayStation.
Ready.
I think PlayStation's look, definitely going to slow walk their community towards, yes, the single player games, the games that aren't, the God of War 2018s. They're not making any money on those anymore. Those games have done the rounds. They're at the end of their sort of cycle. The Spider-Mans, those big games, I think, will eventually come. I think we'll see. I've been saying this since the announcement of this game. I think we'll see Wolverine day and date on PC. I think that's definitely going to be one of their first moves, is putting single player day and dates on PC. I think that will be one of the toes that they dip. But listen, as well, again, I'll say, and I'll continue to say this, and people can argue this point as much as they like. There's not everything is going to go, and the reason that not everything is going to go is because the same reason that Avowed has not gone over to PlayStation, the same reason that South of Midnight has not gone to PlayStation, is one, that's a monetary thing, and two, exclusives do matter. So having some games on your platform that are maybe not a draw, but just having those exclusive pieces of content, if you're a content-driven business, is an important thing to do. So I wouldn't be like shouting from the rooftops that everything, even though I will do that on Twitter because it will drive those PlayStation guys wild. I don't think everything is going to go. I think you'll see some specific pieces of content that they pick out that will come over to Xbox, that will come over to Switch, that will come over to, that obviously is already coming over to PC. I think it'll be very strategic in the way that they do it, especially when they begin. But this is the way, if Paris is still listening, this is, and I agree, I do agree, while I disagree with some of the things he says, I agree with this. This is the way the industry is heading. However, for anyone to say that they know like how this is going to end up, and that they know that this is not going to end up in some sort of a console monopoly, or it's not going to end up in a console monopoly, for anyone to say that that's definitely not going to happen, they're full of shit. They don't know. Like, you don't know where this is going to end up because the industry has never done this before.
Yes.
It has always been an exclusive industry, so we don't know where this is going to go. And my thing is, like, the thing to fear is a monopoly of one of these. Like, I would love to just have one subscription service. Instead of Disney and Prime and Netflix, and they all had the same shows, and you can get that anywhere. You can get that one single subscription service, and that sounds good. But what happens then is that subscription service becomes so big they can charge you whatever they want. So what you think you're going to save by having that one subscription service, you probably lose on the back end because that subscription service becomes a monopoly. Now, that's the thing to fear about consoles. If you're a console player, and is the worry that, you know, one of the consoles stops being made, and then you only have one choice of a console to go to. Now, for a lot of people, they'll go to PC, and that's fine. But that is a concern, and that is my main concern about the direction of the industry. So whilst I can 110% accept, like, where the industry's going, I can also definitely have those concerns, and they are not related to me rubbing it into the PlayStation fanboys. This is the way that I have always thought about the industry. And until I've been proven wrong, and when I am, I will say, until I've been proven wrong that this is a strategy that works and works for consumers on the back end in the long run, then I will remain slightly skeptical until we get there, because we're not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's sort of where I'm at with all of it.
How do you and I know Risk It, you have to bounce. Let's get you out of here, sir. I know it's way past your bedtime, most likely at this point. I always feel bad whenever I see you on American time on a podcast. It is what it is. Risk It for the Biscuit, the host of the Infinite Podcast, which is weird because Infinite Number is here too. How you hosted his podcast, but that's neither here nor there.
Exactly.
Tell us where we find you. Tell us where we keep up with your ongoings this week, sir.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm hoping to stream some more Battlefield, so that's keep an eye out for that, because I was definitely not at my best when I first streamed it, so I'm starting to get into more of a feel. I've got a bit of a squad going. My son's come back. One thing this Battlefield has done for my son is he has gone away from gaming, and he's been gone for probably a good year, where he's been struggling to play anything that he's liking. As soon as he jumped into this, he was all in. Like, he's like messaging me like, "We getting on tonight, Dad? What's going on?" So like, this has brought him back. So this is good to see. So I'll stream a little bit more of that, hopefully, with the squad. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter, revving up the PlayStation Nation, and you can find me over on the Infinite Podcast, 8 p.m. EST Fridays. Hopefully live. We'll see what happens. We're going to talk about a pre-record. We'll get there. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I super appreciate it. Any chance I get to talk about Battlefield is a good chance, and I will take it every single day of the week. So thank you, sir.
It is a pleasure having you on. I would love to have you on more. I just feel bad asking you to come on, because that means you're way past your damn bedtime, man. I feel bad about it, but thank you so much for being here. We appreciate
it's so good, man.
Your Battlefield knowledge. You really lent a lot to the show, so thank you so much, man. And I'm sure we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, man. It sounded like you should do a little video edit of that, Risk.
Yeah, he should be doing Risk It's Battlefield tutorials, or you know, helping people get into it. It's a good thing. You have skill for it, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
I love the game. I love the game. Catch you guys.
Get some sleep, man.
Yes. So, Holly, your turn. I want to ask what you think, because, you know, some of your panel members may be on the slanderous side. Maybe they're trying to agitate their friends, their frenemies and whatnot. I don't get that energy from you. So, and you are in this community. You hear a lot of that same stuff that I hear. What do you think of basically between roles being shown off and financial numbers being known and them literally saying it with their mouths? What do you think of PlayStation basically turning into Xbox now?
So yes, you're absolutely right. I have zero tolerance for console war nonsense, which is why Risk It. I fight a lot, which is fun. But I think we have a long history of seeing exactly what you said, which is that Microsoft has always kind of taken the first step, and they take the brunt of whatever the industry is going towards, and then eventually you see everybody else do it without any, well, very minimal blowback, right? So I'm not surprised at all. Like, as soon as we saw PlayStation starting to port their games to PC, granted it took a while, right? You know that at some point they're gonna see the actual financial benefit of doing that, and probably etching it and inching it closer towards the release of the game to begin with, because with any game, right, no matter, there's always a drop off in sales if you don't release at the same time, right? Because all of your marketing budget and most of what has occurred to excite people about the new game happens at that one singular point in time, right? And then they do a little bit of marketing when they drop it on PC later, but they're not going to invest the same way they did before, because the game's out. They've already got an audience that's played it. There's opinion out there, etc., right? So the closer you get that launch to the actual day launch, I think the more sales that you make.
I would actually, like, I agree with you on that. And I also think that another reason that you'll see that sooner rather than later is that every time they release a game, they have to have a PR cycle, and PR cycles aren't cheap. Yeah. Now you're gonna have 2 PR cycles for PC, and then shortly after, well, console, and then shortly after for PC. The closer and closer they diverge, the less money for PR cycles you need. You can use one PR cycle dollars to hit both aspects and get all your money. If you're trying to save money, doing 2 separate PR cycles tends to be expensive, because they say PR tends to cost about as much as the game does.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's
exactly.
why
that was my point.
Yeah.
That, and then also when it's an initial launch, you have the benefit of nobody knowing how good or bad the game actually is, and you have the hype train. So then you're making a lot of sales based on best of intention or best thoughts of whatever it is, right? So when it gets to PC, people are like, well, like, I talked to my friend that played this game, and we play a lot similar games, and they thought it was just okay. So I'll wait for a sale a year after, right, it launches on PC. I waited this long, why do I care, right? So there's a lot of that too. I think that tail, right, and people knowing now where the game is. So, and then PlayStation did have, initially when they started doing this, they kind of had a reputation of having a lot of ports that didn't run the best, right? Yeah. So I think they're working through that. I think they're figuring all of that out. So the closer that you kind of close that gap, I think it's probably better financially for them, just in all kinds of ways. And it's not going to stop anybody on a PlayStation from buying the game because somebody on PC has it, right? And frankly, it's not going to stop anybody on PlayStation to buy the game if it went to Xbox day one too, right? They can get mad about it and they can say that that's going to happen, but it's not going to happen. They're going to buy the game if they want to buy the game, full stop. Yeah. Right. I saw Detective Seed's tweet who had said that he was looking at realistically seeing those the PC ports coming closer to maybe at 6 months instead of like the 12 to 18 months kind of is where it is now, right, with PC. 6 months is probably extremely realistic, and then maybe even closer, a little bit closer than that. I mean, Indiana Jones was 3 months between Xbox and PlayStation. And I disagree with Risk It on Avowed and South of Midnight going to PlayStation. They only came out a few months ago. Indiana Jones is sort of an anomaly just based on the fact that it's a massive IP, right? And it's a Disney-owned IP, and they wanted to, sort of take advantage of that and keep the sales rolling. We all know Starfield is eventually going to PlayStation. It's just hasn't been announced yet, right? So it's the same
day that happens. John Clark from Xbox Era will be messy as hell, and I will allow it. Oh Lord, I can't wait for that day. Let's go.
It's definitely happening. So I mean, just because Avowed and South of Midnight came out a few months ago, there's no way I don't see them taking it to PlayStation. I think everything's going to PlayStation. It's just
I agree.
The timing of it, right? It's the timing, right? Whatever they need to make it happen, they will definitely make it happen. So I think the world is healing.
Slowly, we'll heal.
Yes. I think the more this happens, the better for everybody. And as consumers, we're winning by all of these walls breaking down.
Break the walls down, Chris Jericho style. You know, I'm with you there.
PlayStation.
Yeah. I gotta say, I mean, listen, moving on to as I have to PC, it does feel like, yeah, this is perfect because we're getting everything. Even for console gamers, it's a beautiful thing on Xbox. Even if I couldn't even use PC in this excuse, because now you all will be getting it on console too on Xbox side of things, right? Yeah. And PlayStation gamers are already getting, and will get more. And the whole slate of Xbox games, more or less, at some point, they haven't gotten everything. There's still Avowed, there's still South of Midnight. You know, there are a few games, but I think this kind of I just wonder how the landscape, how do they operate on that? Like, it's not a thing where I'm concerned for them because I couldn't care less about their bottom line. You know, I'm more always concerned about us as far as the consumer side.
Oh, you care about your bottom line, as you should.
That's it, you know. But this is very interesting on like how we're moving. And I just saw this interview, and I did not see this until today. It was from the Game and Network Services segment. You saw that?
The little clip where they're sitting on the couch. Yes.
I did not see that. And I'm like, is this AI or something? Like, what's going on here? And apparently they had Nishino, you know, who was the head of PlayStation Gaming and host, and I'm not sure who the lady is, but they had him there, and the guy starts off literally saying, PlayStation Gaming going multi-platform, and how they're going to navigate this, and what does it mean for their players. I mean, they're not hiding it, but you still have people coming out I think in this bit of, I don't want to like down them by saying delusion, but there is this willful fight to kind of like, no, they're not doing that. They're not going multi-plat. Like they didn't
say that with their mouths. No, it's AI, you know.
It's like this willful kind of denial of the facts, you know. And I'm not saying this to like console war or anything, but I think people are kind of, and we had that same battle on the Xbox side of things, you know, like people were like in denial and were like, no, it was just 4 games. This is their 4 games moment, and this is moving forward. And I don't know why people are still kind of like.
And that video clip, for a matter of fact, video clip is their business update podcast equivalent. It's just, of course, as Holly was saying, Microsoft did that. All the smoke happened. The dust has settled, so nobody even watched my PlayStation's version of the same exact thing.
Yeah, you know? You're right.
Exactly. Sitting on the couch talking about the same exact thing.
Oh, true. You're right. Well, this is, and now I think that goes to the point of how much scrutiny Xbox and Field kind of get comparatively. You know what I mean? And they get less favorable leeway, and when it comes to these types of things, because they have stepped on rakes on the Xbox side of things, so people are quicker to pounce on them. And I think people are more favorable in general towards Sony than they are to Xbox. But you're right. This is that literally that kind of fireside chat right there, and they're saying it
literally the same thing.
And they're like literally acknowledging, we're going multi-plat. You don't do that if you're just going to the Steam and PC as they've already been doing. No, this is telling people, we're going to be on Xbox, we're going to be on Nintendo. That's what they're telling you. And some people are in the denial stage. Yeah, for sure, BT. Like the people are like, I don't think, and you know, but they didn't really say that, and you know, it's kind of comical, I will say. But I am hopeful to see how it plays out. Well, I'm not say hopeful. I don't want to say hopeful. I'm interested in seeing how it plays out for those who are still on console, and how the specs of next gen, how that all plays out. Thinking about how people will access these games and how they'll play.
Let's talk about that for a quick moment, because we're wrapping up. We're going to get out of here in a minute, but let's talk about that for a moment, because you brought this up, right? Like next gen and all that. That dovetails well into the rumored conversation about the various chips and all of this. Like, it actually plays so well into that narrative, because for me, it sounds like they're now Xbox right after they announced that they were going multi-plat as far as putting games on PC. And now you see them still trying to keep their console market alive while still making overtures to the other side, right? So now that's why you're seeing them talking about the next gen version. The rumors are the chips won't be as powerful. They may not be subsidizing the hardware. So because of that, you'll get maybe a little bit less performance. So if you're a PS5 user, you'll see some upgrades. If you're a PS5 Pro user, maybe not so much, because they're trying to keep cost effective and keep consoles still $400-$500 and all of that. Whereas on the Xbox side, it's like, hey man, cats and dogs living together. We have bespoke hardware now. we're scaling SoCs. We're flooding the market. Anybody that wants to make an Xbox can do so. They're all doing their own different things. What does this look like for next gen? It's a very interesting place. I feel, you know?
Yeah, it is. You got a super chat that goes to the question I was going to ask you, and just quickly, because I know we got to wrap it up, but the whole specs of these next gen things, right? What is I heard the comparison for the PlayStation was like a 4080, the next gen from the spec leak. I
always refrain from making those comparisons, because the moment you do, that's the noose around your neck. Go talk to Digital Foundry about their comparisons. Yeah. By the way, they're now independent. Shout out to Digital Foundry. That's a piece of news that happened. You know, I was a little bit, you know, when they did what they did, but now they're independent. I want to see how they move in their independent way. I might start watching videos again. I was always a fan of Digital Foundry.
I'll contemplate it, but I don't care for that John Linneman guy.
We'll see.
Not John. What's the guy? Dark 1X, whatever his name.
Yeah, Linneman.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, I can't stand him. He blocked me too, because I called him out on his hypocrisy.
There you go. But maybe that was corporate related hypocrisy. Now we get to see them independent. What it looks like. Yeah, hey, I look forward to seeing that. You know, but I think that because of the way these rumors are spilling out, right, and how Xbox is making plans and how PlayStation's making plans, I honestly feel like when this all settles, it may ultimately be great for us, right? If console users still have consoles, right? Those who want options and go everywhere you want, PC, this, that, and the third, you now have that as well. That's also being taken seriously, right? Everyone's doing their thing. Now, Holly, this is to you. When I speak of this utopia, the dystopian retort I'm met with usually is, when they're not fighting each other tooth and nail, that means you're going to lose, because they're going to start ratcheting up the prices on you. Is that what you see is going to happen to us?
I mean, generally speaking, I do understand that argument. I'm not saying it's not always wrong, but at the end of the day, PC is always going to, I feel like PC is always going to keep the market regulated, right? Because there's keys everywhere. You don't have to buy from just one storefront. That's why it's such a competitive market. And especially if we're seeing these new mythical boxes that are supposed to be PC hybrid that has all of the stores, et cetera, then that will help self-regulate the console market if the two big boys are playing extremely nice with each other.
Yeah, that's a good thought. You know, I made a joke really early on this whole thing about we are the horseshoe makers, and the Jetsons just entered up our atmosphere, and then Fantastic Four came out. Go watch Fantastic Four. You'll understand what I mean when you thread that needle with that joke. Go watch Fantastic Four. Anyway, let's get the last couple of super chats done, and then we'll get out of here. The last one, the great Web Dave with a $2 super chat. He says, "K Asante, what an amazing panel. Hit the like button and talk that, you know." Thank you. Hey, it's 12 o'clock. We can say shit. Come on now. We're no longer in the early mornings.
Say it, Holly. Say the word.
Say it.
She's like, yeah.
And then we have Erasmus. Oh, she almost did it. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's German, for those who know. Scheiße. There you go. So, $10 super chat from Erasmus. He says,
"Merde."
It's what?
In French too. Merde.
And in German,
you hear it in Expedition 33 a lot. They're like, merde. That means shit.
Yes. Oh, they do say it in there. That's right.
Mm-hmm. In Russian, it's blatz. Well, I know how to swear in many languages. Let's move on. Erasmus says, So if this this new Xbox comes out next year, which will be powerful as a 5080 a PC hybrid, having access to multiple stores, play anywhere, and Game Pass, PlayStation will be the worst place to play games. I am not so sure about that. I am not so sure. I see what you're doing. I hear what you're doing.
It's obvious what he's doing. It's obvious what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
Do a little salt out there. I see you, Rodimus.
Yeah, I see what he's doing. He's sprinkling the salt. I'll let that sit. I wouldn't say I disagree or agree with you on that one. Let us debate that one in the Discord. And Soil Tech, who's been a member 14 months, says, please hit the like and subscribe. Always with the great messages. And I agree. Great Soil Tech. Thank you so much for being here and being a great moderator. Please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so. We're towards the end of our show now, but before we get out of here, I must once again give a huge shout out to all the great people that always continue to jump on this show, to join us. The great Paris Lily who joined us, the Risk It for the Biscuit who came here giving nothing but COD and PC slander, but we still appreciate him. And of course, the great members that are on our panel right now, the awesome folks that offered codes. Shout out to the awesome Dr. Dry Rub, Cover Me Taco. Thank you so much for all your great contributions to our air. We appreciate y'all. But I'll start with you, Holly. Where else can the people keep up with your ongoings this week? We appreciate you lending your voice to these proceedings. I know the Infinite podcast is out there, but you're streaming some new stuff. Where can we keep up with you?
Yeah, if you find me on YouTube, I have started making my own videos, so bear with me. I'm in the learning process. Some are better than others. But I just dropped a review for Eric's Holmes. This is my first review. I really like that game. And then I do stream. I try to stream at least 2 to 3 days a week. I think later today I'm gonna start new Tales from the Borderlands, the Telltale game.
One of the greatest Borderlands games ever. Well, oh my God, I love that game.
Tales from the Borderlands was fantastic, and it gave story beats that you didn't know, right? Unless you played it.
So
it's
smart.
Really good.
Oh God, I love that game.
Yes, it is. It's fantastic. So new Tales from the Borderlands, I haven't touched. I have no idea. I've heard mixed reviews on it, but that's okay. I'm gonna stream it and see what it's like, and hopefully it has some story that leads from 3 to 4. So I'm gonna start that, and usually those only take 2 or 3 streams. They're kind of short. But and then other than that, on Thursday nights, I am joining DeMarco Dude on his channel for his podcast called the Push Start Podcast, and it's at 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. He and I just talk about, we try to do more evergreen topics than just news-based stuff. And we do that for about an hour, and then a lot of times after that, we'll stream a game together, multiplayer on my channel. So, sorry, that was a lot, but that's what's happening.
No,
thank you, chat. It was good to see you all again, and Kazante. Always a pleasure. Such a good friend, and have a fantastic trip to Gamescom too, by the way.
Maybe one day I will get people to come with me, but that's another conversation.
No kind words for me. I mean.
Hi, Umbra. How you doing? You let me have my coffee today, so that was nice.
There we go. Hi, Holly.
Sir, Umbra, we appreciate you, sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar. You jumped in because the Everborn saga was not available. We appreciate you for being here. Tell the people where they can keep up with your ongoings, man.
Anytime, Kay. Anytime. You put out the bat signal, brother, jump in like Robin for you. But yeah, thank you, Holly, for coming through. Seriously. Thank you, Risk It, and thank you, Paris. We appreciate you coming through. And
yeah.
The part is very Obama. You got to remove the part.
Gotta
The
remove
and the pregnant pauses are very Obama. Besides
Okay.
that, you're on the track.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But yeah, thank you all in the chat for coming through, and like Kay said, thank you, Dr. Dryra, for always gifting. He did gift on my show as 1.2. Thank you for that, brother. And thank you to Ryan Ginther, aka Cover Me Taco, for the giveaways as well. Man, you guys, of course, find me Infinite Umbra or Umbra Infinite on Twitter. Thursdays, well, I might as well start with Tuesdays on the Xbox Factor with Boom and Jamie Moran. That's at 12 o'clock Eastern. Thursdays, The Fix at 8 o'clock Eastern with myself and Daniel J. McG. We are quickly approaching 100 episodes that Paris now has declared he won't be a part of.
He wants to be specific on when that show will be.
Right. I'll have to pick them. Oh, this is episode 200. No, this is episode 105. And see if he shows up. But yeah. Thursdays at 8 o'clock, and of course the Infinite Podcast with myself, the lovely Holly here, lovely Blue, should I say? I'm gonna keep saying her name, but Risk is host, and Dante Moody, my brother Dante, aka Spriggan. That's on Fridays at 8 o'clock Eastern. So yeah, come by, support us, show us love. We all love you. Much thanks, everybody in the chat.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the support and always being here every week when we put this show together. Love all the great folks that are here. Dr. Dryer actually gave a lot of codes. We're gonna so we have a good amount of codes, and this we should mention this before we get out of here. We have a good amount of codes, many that have been donated by Dr. Dryer. I want to do an ultimate giveaway one of these days when we get closer to handhelds, when the Xbox handheld comes out or something new. I want to do something like a DMC giveaway. We give you all the DMCs in one go. We have every single game, the Devil May Cry collection from the first to the end. All of it in one big collection. Cool. Shout out to Dr. Dryer. So we're going to do an ultimate showcase and throw some awesome codes. And that's just one. We have so many codes between him and other folks. We have a lot of codes to give. So towards that Christmas holiday season there, we're going to start throwing lots of codes out there to the great community. Next week we will not have a show once again because I will be traveling to Gamescom. So keep an eye on the channel. I will be posting stuff out there, maybe vlog type stuff as we see interesting, cool stuff that we are a part of. So thank you guys so much for continuing to support the channel. Real quick before we get out of here, theeverbornsaga.com is where you can find not only the Everborn Saga and his great comic book series, which we always want you to check it out. There's a lot of really good stories that he's putting together, and more people should be a part of it. We're also finding a merch in that location as well. So now, if you find yourself in a position to want to acquire yourself some GCP merch, you can go to theeverbornsaga.com. Go to the top there and you'll see that the Gaming Circle podcast is a link that is available there. You can then, of course, try and purchase some of the merch there, and you can get 15% off if you use GCP at checkout. So for those who want to support the channel in this way, you obviously have that option as well. You won't see us again next week, but I will be keeping an eye out on the channels and keeping an eye on socials and all of that. So you'll be seeing me. And of course I picked the wrong one. Forgive us. If you happen to be in Discord, forgive me. If you happen to be in Discord, you'll see me a lot because as I'm in Germany and all those other places, I'll be, sharing what we're experiencing and all that. So join the Discord and you'll see my ongoings and my journeys and all of that. But I think that's it, man. I think we're done. So it's been great. Thank you, Holly, once again for being here. Thank you, Umbra, for being here. Paris, Lily, and of course, Risk It for the Biscuit. But we done. Until next week, I think that's it. Peace.
Thanks for being on it.